Bombers targeted 3 Iranian nuclear sites in Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan.
The strikes aimed at degrading Iran's nuclear capabilities mark a significant expansion of U.S. involvement in the ongoing Iran-Israel conflict.
Iran's parliament has reportedly voted in favor of closing a key oil transit corridor, responding to rising tensions with Western nations. Joseph Eckerson reports.
The move comes shortly after the bombings at its nuclear facilities and could sharply impact global oil markets.
United Nations diplomats convened Sunday to address the fallout from escalating hostilities between Iran and Israel.
The session aimed to assess humanitarian risks.
Protests entered their third week in Los Angeles following a wave of ICE raids targeting undocumented immigrants.
Demonstrators have clashed with law enforcement, prompting California Governor Gavin Newsom to sue the federal government.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as a statement.
Screw them all.
Independent
Screw them all.
actions
Screw
are
them
encouraged.
all.
We got a cup of coffee in here, please.
Screw them. I didn't even share anything. I've been so flustered and so flustered. Waiting for the other two to drop.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
It's a stupid thing.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Yeah. See? Not even in Scotland or nothing.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
That's okay. We'll make the best.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Yeah. Good luck with that. What? There's comments already. Put comments. Commenting comments. Where are they? Commenting commenters. Comments. Oh. See how I say oh and it doesn't really mean anything? That's the way I am. Look, it's going to shut off by itself. Money on it shutting off by itself. There it goes. Good morning, folks. No.
Wake up.
You son of a bitch. I'm sorry. Who did I call a son of a bitch? Good morning, you son of a bitch. It is Monday, your favorite day of the week, right? And not just any Monday, but the last Monday of ever. Oh no, I'm exaggerating. Maybe. You never know. Monday, June 23rd, 2025, in the year 2025. Here's what's going to happen. You'll be going through your life on a regular, normal, could be a beautiful weekday. Not necessarily a Monday, because Mondays aren't beautiful. Maybe a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, midweek. It'll be beautiful out. And then you'll just be lost and distracted in what a beautiful day it is. And then you'll notice, my beeper doesn't work. That's going back to 1992. Your cell phone has no connection. Your television, your internet is out. Your television is out. Your cable service is out. Something is wrong. And then you'll notice people screaming because somebody has done something like dropped a dirty nuke in your neighborhood, and people will be dying. Maybe dozens, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. And when that happens, you'll know it's really on. But for today, or for right now, for this moment, hey, you can pretend that we're not in the beginning throes of World War III. You can pretend, but sooner or later, the reality is going to hit. If you think for 1 second that Iran is just going to say, you're right, we should unconditionally surrender. If you think the entire Muslim world is going to say, yeah, you're right, America was right all along, we shouldn't, we'll just let everybody be. Peace, brother, peace. You're very retarded. Very retarded. So all I can say is enjoy the moment. Enjoy this moment right now, because listen, Jesus is not coming back. Why would he? Why would he? Woody. Not Toy Story Woody. Why would he? Think about it. I mean, is there anything worth saying? What's the point? If you're a Christian and you're believing that Jesus is coming back, ask yourself why. Are you worth saving? I don't think you are. I take one look at you and say, no, I ain't going through that. You remember what happened last time? I had to get crucified to save his dopey ass, and look what he did with it. You're almost like a Willie. You taking my money? I'm sorry. That's a bad analogy. But it's not happening. And the Democratic Party is not going to save you. You stupid people did this to us. You stupid people. You know who you are. You supported a stupid fat loser, and you did this to us. Congratulations, asshole. You fucked up the world. That's what I want to say to every Trump supporter. Congratulations, asshole. You fucked up the world. Are we laughing yet? Are we having a good laugh? So Saturday I had 2 pain parties. One, I thought, because I heard Hempstead town, Long Island. If you get an idea of it, like Hempstead's doesn't have a great reputation as far as towns on Long Island go. So I'm thinking it's not going to be good. I think the people there are going to be lovely. Don't get me wrong. People who are on the downside of life are my people, but I'm thinking it's not gonna. It's going to be a kind of almost urban area. Hempstead is almost urban. It really is now. It's got citified. But when I got there, no, fucking as suburban as can be. I couldn't believe it. Backyard party, just lovely neighborhood, great people. And I enjoyed the time. Can I say I enjoyed the time there? And then I had to rush to get to Syosset. I'm thinking rich people. No, just a regular suburban area. Like, what the hell happened to Syosset? Because 30 years ago, Syosset meant money, big money. Now, these people were not. They were upper middle class, suburban area. But it wasn't what I was expecting in Syosset. But I did not know this the night until the day before. The Syosset party, little girls. It was a 8-year-old birthday party, 8-year-old girl birthday party with lots of other 7 and 8-year-old girls. Stephen would have been in his glory, except there were no little boys, because I know he goes both ways with the children. But then the parents they go far away and they leave me with these kids. The kids are on the fucking swing. They're supposed to be painting. They're on now. What am I? I can't be. Hey, are we? I can't be like the drill sergeant, kindergarten, 2nd grade teacher, whatever, 3rd grade teacher, and yell at them. So I'm letting them on the swing. Nobody's finishing their painting. They're fucking swinging, and I'm kind of demonstrating a painting for kids on the swing. Now, there was one little girl who was really artistically inclined, and I said she should definitely pursue, because she's gifted. She never painted before, and she painted a masterpiece. I was fucking blown away by what she created. They tipped. They not only tipped, the mother came over, asked me for my Venmo, and she couldn't figure it, but she was doing the scanning thing, trying to Venmo me a nice big tip. I thought she had. And then the father, as I was pulling out of the driveway, the father come out to tip me cash. I was like, wow, this is nice. But your wife already, tipped me. So he went back in, and then he said it didn't go through. Sorry about that. So, but nice big tip from these people. So that was my Saturday. But then I get home, and I'm exhausted because you have no idea how moving in and out and setting up painting classes for an old geezer like me. And it's work. And you know me, I'm allergic to work. So I was kind of tired, but also kind of relieved that, both classes went well and it was over. And now I can rest. And I turn on the internet to check my email. And all of a sudden, it's just like all hell's breaking loose. Iran is basically... They're planning something big, and I see people acting. Oh, it's no big deal. Like, stop acting like it's no big deal. It's a big fucking deal. Yeah, Matt did a swingers kids party. That's pretty true. They were swinging. Would you like to swing on a star? Anyway, Stephen would have been in his glory, except for there were no little boys. I'm sorry, but you know what? Maybe next time we'll get him some little boys to do his thing. He wasn't there, so what's the big... Anyway, where was I? Speaking of Steven, I should just play Steven's favorite commercial and move on. And Steven's favorite commercial might not be what you think it is, right? It could be something like this.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, and with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer, we're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
Now. Get the party started. Ladies and gentlemen, in the room with me right now, Steven, I didn't get to paint for little kids. I want to go paint with little kids. Ortiz, and GD, the wise-ass motherfucking cocksucker asshole. Finish it. CS, that's cocksucker. MF, I'm sorry, I'm just going through your degrees here. He's got a CS, MF, BS, something.
GD.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com.
He's lying already. It's not
Do you only have one shoe and need a second shoe to drop? Come to MindDogTV.com/merch for all your single shoe needs. Whether you need a shoe to drop or a boot to put up that ass.
Oh, that's an interesting take on it.
With our shoes coming in sizes 3 to 22 and in widths from B to triple E, we can fill your need or that hole. MindDogTV.com/merch. Enjoy the suffering and support that mercenaries.
You got anything for the heat? I don't know if you've noticed, but it's warm. It's very warm.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, we're hitting the hundreds down here in Maryland. Well, we hit 100 yesterday also. So
I don't know what the temperature was, but it was hot. This is hot.
Yeah, we had hot and humid.
Yeah, and so the paint parties, they both had tents for the people painting, but for me, standing in the hot sun, nothing. So yeah, that was another thing. And
how does that affect the paint? Does it make it harder?
It fucking dried up like instantly.
I was about to say, did it dry so fast? Like, we're gonna make because it's not gonna stay wet long enough to make a whole tree. We're just
take a little blue. Wait a minute, take a little blue. You got to stab at the blue.
We can't make a cloud. We can only make a club because it dries before the OUD hits the paper.
And no matter what, I say, just don't overload your brush. Get just a little bit of paint, and people are just scooping it up like they're painting a house, and just like, well, you put too much fucking paint on there. You can't take paint off once it's on the canvas.
So they're painting like Tammy Faye Baker used to put on makeup.
Pretty much.
That's a historical reference for those of you. That's a historical Bible reference for those of you paying attention.
Wow. I would date that about 1983, 84. So, wow, there you go. That's a good one. 42-year-old reference.
Now, Matt, here's the deal. Did I just demonstrate my depth of knowledge of history or how fucking old I am?
I don't think. Well, I think you were right on track when you said depth of knowledge of, but it's pop culture. It's not necessarily history. It's pop culture bullshit.
But is it pop culture if it's not pop now?
I don't. Is she dead? She's dead, right?
I think she is.
He's still preaching, Jim Baker. In a
is
weird
he
way,
still fondling and fucking and robbing people?
Yeah, of course. That's what I mean by preaching.
Okay, because the Reverend preaches, but he doesn't steal things from people.
Doesn't steal things from people.
Well, time. He steals their time. By the time they're done, like, wait a minute, I wasted how much time listening to you?
You know what? I watched the whole sermon yesterday, the hour, and I can't tell you a word he said. And it wasn't like I wasn't paying attention. Just so fucking distracted by life lately and all this shit. I just wish I could just.
Wait a minute. You mean you didn't get his great piece about Switzerland?
I heard Switzerland, and it took me to look at the screen to say to realize he was saying Switzerland. I was like, why is he talking about Switzerland? And then I saw it on the screen; it said Switzerland. Stephen, do you know what Switzerland means?
No.
See? He wasn't at the service. He wasn't at the service.
Well, but I mean, he
was so proud of that. He was so proud of that because. Switzerland, people think of the neutral country, but this is it's like he just can't make a decision, just switches from one thing to another, and it gets the whole country involved in shit.
I don't know if you realize this, but all this shit is because Donald Trump hates black people.
Black and brown.
Well, one black person in particular, Barack Obama.
Yeah, well,
He undid that agreement because Obama signed it and couldn't have because he hated Obama that much. Now let's be clear here: 3 different administrations have said that Iran was not close to having a nuclear bomb,
including his own
twice. Yes, and he just says, I don't believe that." Well, you say you hire the best and the brightest. You don't even believe the best and the brightest that you hire. What's the deal with this? But it basically, couple of things. People didn't come to his birthday party, and he hates that black guy and his deal because you couldn't have him be the deal maker, the art of the deal. So it's Barack Obama's deal. And
here's the funny thing about this. Trump hates Obama so much that he's trying to undo everything that Obama has done, but he wants a Nobel Peace Prize like Obama has. So he wants a Nobel Peace Prize. So he says, okay, I'm going to bring peace to Gaza and so I can get a Nobel Peace Prize. And then he just fucks it up if he probably could have gotten a Nobel Peace Prize if he could have done something peaceful and productive in Gaza. But now
I want a Nobel Peace Prize, but I'm going to start World War III to get it.
Right. Yeah. I want a Peace Prize like Obama, but I'm going
He's gonna try to start World War III and then try to broker a deal, thinking that I stopped it, I'm a hero, and fucking take a long walk off a short pier, you orange fuck.
And it's amazing how the no new wars people had, which wasn't true anyway to begin with,
right?
But they did such a friggin' pivot to go around, like the early days of Desert Storm and all that stuff. They're just so gung ho for war right now, not understanding what that's going to bring. It's just it's going to be madness, and again, you're not going to expect it. It's going to be when you let your guard down, remember, I was on 9/11. I was just peacefully driving to work. I didn't have the radio on. It was a beautiful late summer day, and I'm like, wow, there's no traffic. This is wonderful. I'm in bliss. And then I get to the office, and people are outside the office. They're not even in the office, and there's some of them are crying. I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh, did you hear what happened? No, I didn't hear what happened. That's what it's going to be like. And I remember in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, it was the same thing. Hey, my beeper's not working. That's on you. It was a beautiful day. All of a sudden, my beeper's not working. It's going to be the same thing. You're going to pick up your phone to make a call, just a casual call, and say, hey, I got no phone service. What's going on? And then you're going to find out the world has gone to shit in a handbag. All because he didn't have a good birthday party. We should have
or good childhood, or parents that loved him, or wives that loved him, or friends. He doesn't have any real friends either.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just going to say, I'm going to bet that we're going to have a no show today. Our scheduled guest was the Ayatollah Kamamangani, or something like that. And
was it the real Ayatollah, or was it the Ayatollah?
I don't know. When I talked to him on the phone, he said, and I just figured
that sounded very close to Mandarin. That I don't know if that was.
That sounds like
you may have been catfish.
He's bilingual.
I've heard of Pig Latin. I've heard of that sounded like I've heard of Ebonics, but that sounded like racist Mandarin.
All right.
From southern stereotype China.
He's trilingual. Yeah, so that's what he sounded like on the phone to me when he booked it late last night. He said, I want to come on your show because
See, that's very much like Taiwan. You just offended a whole group of people that haven't been offended in like.
No, I don't know about if you know this about me.
The thing is that accent was so racist and so bad that they don't even know whether or not it can be offended yet.
Let me just tell you something. You don't have to point out that I'm a racist. Everybody knows it.
I'm not pointing out. I'm just saying the accent itself. I'm just saying right now, the Japanese, the Chinese, the Thai, they're all getting together going, we don't know who he offended. Who did he just offend?
Who does he sound most like here? Because whoever it is needs to be pissed off.
Right. Whoever he sounds, and then they're saying, we'll get behind you. So right now the people from Thailand go, no, Cambodians are going, no, not us. Vietnamese go, not us. And so whoever it is, they say, we're gonna get behind you.
No, you guys are being the racist right now because you're assuming Japanese and Chinese all sound the same, and they can't.
We're saying that your accent was so bad, even they can't tell who
your accent. Your really shitty racist accent sounded a little bit like all of them, and they don't know which one you sound like because they all sound different. But you sounded like a little bit of all.
How could I sound like all of them if they all sound different? That's the point I'm making.
Because you took some similar syllables. And you just repeated them over and over again.
No, you just buried yourself deeper, you racist.
Yeah, I was looking at the closed caption, and the closed caption characters were like all over the place.
Yeah,
the closed caption characters like all. I'm looking at. Wait a minute, I can't even.
They threw up kanji from every country, man.
It's hot, isn't it hot?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I think it's that shirt you're wearing.
Now, let me. I had said that.
No,
I love.
Was it hot enough? Was it hot enough to make your mustache run?
Yeah. I said that I love summer, and anybody who wants it to be over with quickly and get to fall is just pure evil. And somebody from Phoenix, Lori S, strikingly hilarious. She said, "Obviously, you're not in Phoenix because it's been like 122 degrees there." So. I don't know, the dry heat, but listen, dry
heaves.
And an oven is dry heat, right? An oven is dry
heat.
Yeah. So the question on the table, do you see the question on the table? The question on the table says, could you deal with 122 degree dry heat as opposed to 90 degree humidity heat? Do you think
I've done both, and neither one of them are pleasant?
Agreed. Same.
I think it's pleasant. Right now it's hot, but I'm loving. This is my time. I love being hot.
But I'm fat, so this isn't good for me.
Yeah, like yesterday I was out doing yard work, and when I came in, I was only out for like 90 minutes or so because I'm using a battery chainsaw, and that's about how long it lasts before it stops. So I have an automatic I have an automatic fail safe. Once the chainsaw stops working, I come out of the heat and I take a shower. But my wife says, was it unbearable out there? I said, well, I won't say unbearable because I did bear it for 90, for a while, but it was like fucking hot and humid.
Yeah. So we have bedroom air conditioners. We don't have the whole house air conditioner turned on yet because I'm a cheap fuck.
So am I. I just me it's just like bottle a beer and some tacos and you can have me.
Yeah.
How cheap a fuck are you?
Yeah. So if you want to get cool, you have to go into one of the bedrooms and kind of hibernate in there because I love the sweatiness of it.
And that's the only way Matt can get a woman in the bedroom with him.
No, I don't go in there. I don't go in there because I don't like it cold. I like it hot. So I'm staying out here. I'm sweating. If you don't like my smell, go hide in the bedroom because this is the way I smell in the summer.
We're gonna bottle it and sell it on Mind Dog TV's /merch.
Yeah,
holy water.
It looks like the Ayatollah's late. He's not going to join us. I'm shocked. Are you shocked? Another no show. Maybe it's a time zone thing.
Flabbergasted.
You know what? Maybe the clocks got all banged out of boom with the B2 bunker buster baba.
Now, the Ayatollah is asking Putin for help.
Yeah.
Hey.
Now, and the funny thing is, now Iran just sent Russia help so that Russia could attack, Ukraine, and now Iran's going. All that help we just sent you. Could you send it back?
Well,
we could use a few of them tanks and planes if you got any left.
Are you aware of Putin's statement last night?
I think he said that what we did was unjustified.
Oh yeah, that's what he said.
Honestly, I think that's what he said. I don't know everything he said, but I thought he said what we did was unjustified.
Oh, what we did, what the United States. I thought you were saying like he was trying to say what I did to Ukraine was unjustified.
What the United States did to Iran was unjustified. No, what he did to Ukraine was justified.
He followed that up by saying that justifies us taking all of Ukraine now. He said we're not just going after the parts that they took from us. He
was after that anyway.
Well, what he said was any place a Russian soldier puts his foot down is Russian territory. Meaning anything we want to take is ours now because if
it looks like we need to go over there and start cutting off some Russian shoes, Russian feet.
Yeah, that's
they
right.
Can't put their feet down anywhere.
Fucking bunch of Stephen Ortiz's over there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's just so mean. I'm just a mean person, mean-hearted, cold-hearted, and that's just. So I don't know. It's like the people are just going by like, yeah, what do it? Father's Day or whatever party Sunday. The world is coming to a fucking end. And Jesus isn't coming back.
I have my nature. My nature is to tear things down to rebuild. That's my nature. I've been fighting my nature most of my life. But when I get angry, that's my default position. I try to okay, let's salvage what we can. Let's salvage what we can. But once but after that, it's like no, just tear it all fucking down and start over. And my patience with this clear and present danger is such that I just want to burn him down and start all over. The whole Republican infrastructure and the Democratic, I just want to burn them all down and start over with no parties and no countries and no borders. Imagine all the people living from nothing at all because we have no cell phones, no internet.
The average income on Long Island, I just read this morning, $300,000.
Is that a day, a week, a year?
A year. But still, the average. That's the average. We got a lot of fucking.
Median? What's the median? What's the median?
I don't know the median. But the point I'm making is that the disparity of wealth inequality because that means we got a lot of people over the million mark.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering what the median was.
But the number of people making over 300,000, this is why they are red, because they didn't want to vote for more income tax on people making more than $250,000 a year. It makes sense now when you think about it. Oh, they're coming for my money. I didn't realize how many rich fuckers we have around here. But they're doing the same jobs that people in Indiana who are really retarded. Anybody in Indiana is really retarded. Anybody sitting in Indiana right at this moment is a retard. But they're doing the same job as those retards in Indiana. They're just getting paid a lot more for the same exact job. How does that make you feel, retard?
So that means like comedians in Long Island are making like $300,000 a year.
Yeah, most of them. To start, I mean, for your first open mic, they basically give you a $300,000 check and say thanks. Come back next week.
Fuck.
Man, why is Austin so busy if that's how Long Island is? Shit.
Yeah.
That's because Long Island doesn't have the bro connection.
Well, also in Austin, you get to blow Joe Rogan instead of getting a check, which is as good for those people. So,
yeah. Yeah, for those people, it is as good. Yeah, those people would pay $300,000 for that opportunity.
They want some sweaty Joe Rogan perineum, man. That's what they want.
So this week I have a birthday party for 21-year-old girls. 20. This should be an interesting
Now
party.
you're talking my language.
Yeah, is this a swingers also?
Huh?
Hope so.
Is this a swingers party also?
No, but
how could you? First of all, how could you have a swingers party and not invite Ron? You know, Ron is our swingers correspondent, right?
It was very weird kind of swings too. They have these kind of I thought one kid was gonna hang herself on this fucking thing. It's like
auto asphyxiation.
It's like a rope ladder, and she was she was going through it and she got stuck and she's spinning around now, and her neck is black. And I'm just like, hey, are somebody gonna save your kid, or is it up to me? I don't know. I'm not.
Paint CPR on the board because I don't know it. I just paint it CPR.
Yeah. So we took the picture of the final picture of everybody holding their painting and one dead kid swinging on the swing. That the final picture.
The shade of blue that she was the perfect shade that we were all looking for on the canvas.
Right, the blue. That's exactly the shade of blue we were looking for.
Blue Jay blue.
You had to overload your brush. Yes. But
welcome to Dead Kids in the Morning with Dog and Friends.
The weird part of this all outdoor summer stuff outdoors is the easels they supply you with are cardboard easels, and as soon as the wind blows, there's paints on. I put the paints on paper plates because they don't want to give everybody full pallets, real pallets. So they're on paper plates. You have little canvases on cardboard easels. The wind comes and everything is ruined. The paints are flying up onto the canvas. They're flying all over the yard. Start over with the setup. And nobody wants to say, he's struggling with the wind over here. Maybe we could help out and sit down and hold our fucking canvas, easels there and all that stuff. It's just really frustrating.
Not until the wind picks up the little paper plates with the paint and throws it against the house, and it starts sticking to the dog.
Fuck yeah.
So
that house.
Basically, if you got 7 and 8-year-old kids in your home, they're gonna learn every fucking curse in the book every time the wind blows. Like a fucking cunt. Oh, so don't hire me for kid parties. It's that simple. Don't hire me for kid parties, and give me the option of saying no, fucking kids. No, I mean, tell me when you want to book it that this is kids, and I will gladly tell you no. It's not too far. It's not. I don't have anything else booked that day. I am not dealing with fucking kids. I don't want to. If I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher, I would have went to school to be a kindergarten teacher or elementary school teacher.
Or join NAMBLA.
Yeah, no, yeah, or join NAMBLA. Or I'm not just a member; I'm the president. No, because that's boys. Unlike Stephen, I don't like boys sexually. I mean, all right, that's the show for you. All right, did you like it?
Thank you for dropping in at this locality.
Yeah. Well, you guys brought nothing to the table. You didn't bring anything. You got any doom and gloom you want to talk about? No. Steven didn't do anything this weekend except cry. He sits. I don't know if you know this, but Steven's big hobby now is crying. He sits home and cries. Right.
Pretty refreshing.
I wrote some comedy for something that I got to record today, and with Alan Katz. And I was really nervous about it because he wanted something very specific. He goes, and he tells me what he wants, and I'm like, okay, all right. And I'm ready for someone who's a professional writer, someone from Hollywood who wrote for one of my favorite characters when I was growing up, the Crypt Keeper. And I'm like, okay. And I wrote it and I sent it to him, and he goes, "This is perfect." And I'm like, "Oh wow, okay."
Yeah, Steven, what is your takeaway from what you just heard?
I heard none of it. Sorry.
You didn't hear it? You weren't paying attention, you fucking fat loser?
No, I've really been trying hard on getting porn stars, and I've been running into a wall because of how hard it is to contact them. So I reached out to Vic Legina because I know he knows porn stars, and I figured he might be able to get me in touch with somebody. Because what I'm running into,
he did the show, he liked the show, so he might
because what I'm running into is like on X. They're either not seeing the message because they get too many, or they're just ignoring them. And then as far as the emails I've sent out to talent agencies that hire adult stars, no response. So
what is your subject line? See, is not a good subject line.
In the emails, it's interview request for coffee with the dog.
No. Dying comedian desperately seeks your attention.
Okay. I will do that next.
All right. I got to teach you everything. It's not really.
First of all, I want you to know, Steven, I've been using that to get to booking agents for a while, and they just said, "You're dead to me anyway. So go ahead and finish the job." So,
well, because you put humorist, and they're like, "Who the fuck cares if the humorist side?"
This is humorist. Who gives?
So anyway, what was it that you said?
So the point that GD was just explaining, and he doesn't even know that this is what he was explaining, is that Alan Katz wants to bring slavery back, and he wants GD to do all the fucking work while he takes the credit. That's what I was hearing, although I did not hear those words specifically. It sounds like GD's doing all the work. Alan is directing him to go out and do it.
He's doing 75-80% of the work. I'm showing up with, I'm showing up and bringing what he wants me to bring to the table.
Oh, I thought you said he was telling you what to write or telling you to write something.
He had like a 4-minute segment he wanted filled, and he had wanted me to fill it, write something, and I did.
His segment? You just
fill my 4-minute hole.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah, and
I always thought you were a 60-minute man.
Like I always pegged him as a 15-minute man, but whatever.
It depends on the need. And the need was for 4 minutes because he left the hole right there. You listen, and then there's like a 4-minute gap, and he goes, "I want you to fill this gap right here," and I timed it out, and I went, "Okay." And so that's the other thing. I'm writing a comedy bit, and I'm timing it out because I'm reading it. It's my, he wants me to read it, so it's not like I'm writing it and he's reading it. And so I write it, I record it, and I time it, and I go like, okay, I got to add 4 seconds. What if I do this? Okay, perfect. There we go.
Yeah.
So that's how it ends, because it was like 4 seconds short. So I come to the very end, says, and you can do the math.
It feels to me like this is taking a long time to get even out of the hangar and ready to take off. This project has been in the works since 1973, and it's still
early 74. All
right, but it's still not ready for prime time, and that's just concerning to me. Like what Alan Katz is, he's like Steven. He drags his feet.
No. Today we're discussing because we want to get several episodes in the can first, so we can start doing it once a week and not have the pressure. So if we fuck up and it takes us 10 days instead of 7.
I get it.
Yeah. And so that's what we're doing right now. We're trying to get many episodes in the can. But
how many you got in the can already?
0.9.
Oh, okay. Oh, 0.9.
Well, the thing is, it should be. I'm saying 0.9 because today we're going to listen to it together and pick it apart. Because they also, and you know this from, maybe you don't, but whenever you make the first of something, you're getting the bugs out at the same time you're creating it. And then by the time you do it the second time, you know which steps you can eliminate. So it becomes shorter. And then by the third time you say, and we can eliminate this and do this faster and better. So by that time, it almost seems like you've taken so many shortcuts, it feels like you're doing it wrong, because compared to the first one, which took forever, you know.
Well, I don't really know about this because I've never done anything for the first time because I was born having done everything already. So I've done everything the first time, even before I started. I don't. So
that's white privilege. See, because I didn't have that.
Funny, I wasn't even white. I think I mentioned this. I was Chinese.
Chinese. Yeah.
That makes more sense actually, because I'm white and I didn't get to do any of that. I don't even get to walk. So.
No, yeah, and you're never gonna. Oh,
I know.
So mean and cold, and I'm glad I said it.
See, I'm not one to say that you're never going to do it, because I watched Avengers: Infinity War and War Machine. You know, Rhodey walked again. You know, I mean, he had to use a machine, but
is Elon Musk? Elon Musk is going to save Steven, right?
I don't know.
No,
Steven,
that makes sense, but it won't happen here. It's fine.
Well, Elon Musk is gonna put a couple of chips in your ass that will control your legs, and then now you had been
now wait a minute. Steven's been shoving chips up his ass for a while. As a matter of fact, they can't.
Those are Doritos. That's different.
It's a strange kind of dip he's into. And double dipping is always
we call it bean dip.
But I thought you were taking steps, no pun intended, into walking, like losing weight and using the crutches and all. Are you still doing that? Mm-hmm. How's the progress? How's the progress you're making?
Good days and bad days, but getting better. I can get from the driveway to the living room now, up the steps into the house.
How far can you go if you're sober?
The world may never know. But yeah, I'm getting there.
If you're tuning in for the Ayatollah coming on, wangi,
the Ayatollah Khomeini.
Kamani. No, it's Kamani. He's stiffing us. He's not showing up. I don't know why. You can't trust these fucking Iranians. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't validate
Your parking.
He wasn't building a bomb for us. But now we're getting coming back to this nonsense. We're getting conflicting reports about what actually happened, right? Trump is saying they took and of course you can't believe Trump anything. He said Trump could tell you it's daytime right now, and you'd still say, well, I gotta go check and look out my window. But he said they got rid of all of it. Somebody else said Iran is reporting they didn't damage anything except the tunnels accessing. And these were not bomb sites, by the way. People are thinking, well, they're admitting they had nuclear. No, they are nuclear power sites where nuclear materials were possibly being.
No, these sites, they're enriching uranium because it's
So, but somebody else last night said Iran, they claim to have moved. You can't just move nuclear site. Oh, somebody's going to strike. We have bunkers 300 feet down. We're just going to move them to another location. But this is what people are spreading on social media. That they just moved them days before. Like, it's not like a fucking shoebox that you can just fucking move. So, but people are reporting it like that's the truth. This is the problem in the world we live in now. Nothing is fucking believable. I could tell you I have a fucking mustache, and you'd probably say, "No, you don't. You paint that fucking grease paint, Groucho." You can't believe anything. That's my point.
So there was AI had created. That's another unusual I don't like. If somebody creates an AI video, and I don't care how informative it is, if I start watching it and I hear the voice that lets me know it's an AI voice, I don't listen to the rest of it, and I don't care, because if you don't have the time, take the time to put a real voice on it or voice it yourself, then I can't trust its actual legitimacy. I watched one where, now, Matt, you remember how many people believed that there was such a thing as a jackalope, and this was before AI, and all we had was like these Photoshop pictures of jackalopes, and there are people who actually thought they were jackalopes.
I only remember one guy who really thought there was a jackalope, but continue.
Okay, but there were people who thought there was such a thing as jackalopes, and you go into a store out in the Midwest and you see like this rabbit with horns and antlers, and you're like, holy shit, they're real. Now, AI has gotten to the point where they're making these like quote documents. Scientists have found the quillbuck. It's a deer that has spines like a porcupine. And then they show the animation, and it looks
a
so
porky
real.
deer. Porky deer. I like it. A porky deer. Jack off as a melon. Call it jackalope. Got it. That's an evil thing to say, you evil antichrist, you. Jack off on a melon, call it a jackalope. Get it? Cantaloupe, jackalope.
Well, if you can't, then you're not. Then yeah, if you can't do it, then yeah, then you're not going to be able to do it. Yeah.
Did speaking of jacking off on a melon, did Chrissy respond to you with her snake bit? Her snake. I
don't know the answer to that, because I didn't get a notification, and I didn't go back looking.
Oh. So if you didn't get a notification, I think it's safe to assume no, because you would get a notification, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? No.
I would assume so, but I think it was on. I don't even remember which platform it was on. It may have been on Threads. It may have been on TikTok.
I think it was on Instagram. I think I saw it on Instagram.
That's the Instagram, and Instagram. I don't get any notifications on Instagram until I log in, and then it shows me.
Yeah,
and I don't log in Instagram that often, because half the times I try to upload a video, Instagram says we can't do it, and I say fuck it. I'm not going to watch it.
I should bring the fans in this room, or turn the AC on in this room. I don't have notifications for anything. Nothing notifies me until I log in to any site. That would drive me crazy.
Yeah, like now YouTube I'll get notifications on YouTube for some reason. I must have selected an option by accident, because the only things I wanted notifications on were my emails. When I get emails in, that's it.
Somebody said to me, why don't I just avoid the news? And like, I don't watch the fucking news. But the minute I log in to check my email, that's when I get all this fucking bad news. And so if I want to stay in business, I want to check if I got any bookings coming in or any of that kind of stuff. The minute I do that, I'm going to be inundated with this bad, depressing news. There's no escaping it. I haven't watched the news 15, 20 years. Easy. So that's not a solution. Just don't turn on the TV. I went 15 years without a television in my house and still was not able to escape it. You just can't escape it. So after church yesterday, I tuned into Blind Mike's show. Nothing about us. That's good, right? I guess that's good. But something about Jackie. It was about Opie from Opie and Anthony had Jackie on. And Opie has an issue with his guests when they come on. He can't tell how their audio is, but his chat room is telling him the audio is too low or whatever. And it sounds fine for me listening with headphones, but he can't tell. And he called his chat room he called them liars, because they're having difficulty hearing it. Now, I don't know how they're monitoring it, but for me, it sounded fine. But Blind Mike was making fun of the way Opie can't tell that his guest audio is bad. And Jackie, Jackie, he uses a fucking iPad. I'm not sure if he even uses earbuds. I don't know how he doesn't get feedback, but he's always a difficult connection anyway. So well, I think Jackie lasted like 2 minutes on the program and told the Epstein story that he's told here like 9 times about Epstein's party and all this stuff.
But at least he doesn't change the facts. That is
Right.
one thing about
No,
Jackie.
it's a true story. That's why the truth is not hard.
People tell true stories, and by the time they're done with the true story, they've gone on to something that is totally made up away from the true story.
Yeah, Jackie doesn't embellish a lot.
He tells it the same way.
Yeah. But then he was going off on Opie. Opie bans people from his fucking chat room like left and right. Yesterday, just in the 10 minutes they were breaking down, Opie must have banned like 15 people in his fucking chat. Oh, you're gone, you're gone. It's like, man, that if I did that, anybody who said anything that rubbed me the wrong way, banned everybody, we'd have 0.
We'd be left with add me to your Discord.
Yeah, yeah. Or the guys who want to sell us bots to find, that. I would never. Steven, you staying awake? You staying awake? Here, right?
You look like you need help. You look like a cry for help.
Yeah. But he was bringing up.
You don't have to be here, dude. I'm just.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay. You're not.
I don't know if you're good.
I've been in a funk for like 4 days, and
Why? Why? What's the matter?
You tried to shower.
Tell us, Steven. You can tell us.
I don't know. There's nothing wrong in particular. I mean, there's nothing really to complain about. I'm just.
No, there's plenty to complain about. Do you have a mirror?
There's a lot to complain about, but nothing that's either fixable or within my control. But no, there's nothing directly wrong with me at the moment. No, just a depressive funk. It's been awful.
What's the name of that funk? Spider-Man.
It's like one of those funks where when you're driving your car and you're like, I bet that tree would not hurt if I just went a little faster. It's been one of those funks.
See, I've been having moments of bliss. What the fuck?
Yeah, what the?
Yesterday, I was driving. My wife was driving. She's got a convertible, and I'm in the passenger seat. And we're driving. It's kind of a long drive, but we're going through the woods and stuff. And the sun. It's like 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m. The sun is coming across these fields of barley, and I'm like, it was fucking magical. Imagine, and it's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like having moments of bliss. I don't get it, even though the world is going to hell in a handbasket. Like sitting out on my lawn at like 9 o'clock at night, just as the peaceful hour is coming and it's real quiet, and it's just like, wow.
I'm on the other opposite end of that. I'm having moments of oh, that bridge probably is probably just high enough. Or
wow.
Yeah.
Now I had a moment
and it's scary when you're an impulsive person, because then you have to when you have those intrusive thoughts, and then you're like, could actually do it. You're like, no, what? No.
A guy parlayed that into a guest hosting position for about 3 weeks here. He went on Twitter and said he was going to kill himself. And I saw him say this, and I sent him my phone number, told him to reach out. He finally called me like 3 hours later. I was calling the cops in the Bronx to go look for him, and they couldn't find him. And then he finally called back, and I talked him off the ledge. He wasn't going to fucking kill himself. But he basically said he wouldn't kill himself if he could be a guest on the show. Next day, he was a guest on the show. Didn't say much. No, he was a guest on the show. He didn't say much, and then he wanted to keep coming back. And it was kind of like a threat, an implied threat. If you don't let me be on the show every day, I'm going to kill myself. So basically, he did that every day for like 3 weeks. So, and Carl was telling me, get rid of that loser. He's not going to kill himself. He's using you. And I was like, well, that's kind of a cold-hearted thing. Somebody's telling you they're going to kill themselves. You can't just abandon them and forget about him. And Carl was saying he's not serious.
Really
it just depends on if they use it as a tool or not. If they're a super narcissistic person that knows they'll get their way if they threaten to kill themselves.
It ended with me telling them to go do it. Not really. I didn't tell him to go do it, but I told him he was off the show. Get the fuck out of here. Your mother's a skank or whatever. And I haven't heard from him since. That was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Back in the day when I was one who helped people with suicide over the phone, not to help with the suicide, but to try to talk them out of it.
Yeah, Dr. K. Fenderson is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Back in the day when I said try to help people not commit suicide over the phone. I taken a call, and this lady had a British accent, and at one point she stopped mid-sentence and says, "Are you block?" And I said, "Well, yes, ma'am." And she goes, "You're awfully nice for a block man."
Wow.
and I thought to myself, I said, "Well, ma'am,
she's not wrong."
Well, I said, "Ma'am, mean people come in all races." She goes, "Yeah, but black people are particularly mean." And I'm trying to stop this lady from committing suicide, and meanwhile, she's telling me that I'm one of the good ones.
Please stay on hold. And you give me the elevator music then, and don't come back for 20 minutes. You still there? All right, hold on a little longer, or don't. Hold on a little. Wow, that's I don't know.
If you come back in 20 minutes and she's still there, there's no worries that she's gonna do it.
You don't sound blocked to me.
My friend,
I don't even know what block sounds like.
My friend was watching the call, and she's like, it was my face. It was my face that she was noticing. The expressions of my face was like, oh, black. No, mean people come in all races. They're but black people are particularly mean.
I don't think white people are mean.
I don't know. I think I've had
white people are all nice. They're nice.
I think I've had more issues with white people than people of any other ethnicity, realistically.
But that's also because you're exposed to them more.
No, no. In South Bend, and all the way up until I moved to Alabama, the white kids were the minority in our school for the most part.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I was around mixed ethnicities and cultures my whole life.
I'm not talking about just in public, though, but as far as your inner circle, though, the people that are closest to you.
Yeah, we know you only hang out with white people. You don't even have any black friends. TV's your only black friend. And I say block friend.
My two closest black friends are Robert Kaiser and Clint Miller. Good guys.
I could just say Tyrone Shoelaces.
Look, there's only two. That's how I know their names so quick. But you said none. I have two.
For those people who don't know the reference, Tyrone Shoelaces is a character created by Cheech Marin for
very bad man.
Basketball Jones.
He's very bad man. Very bad man. No, they stole that from me. I had Tyrone Shoelaces long before they did. Cheech called me up and said, "You got anything?" I was like, "I don't know. I'm kind of reluctant to say anything around you." And I said, and then I started babbling to somebody, and he heard me say Tyrone Shoelaces. "Oh, that's good. Can I use that?" I was like, "No." And then I see it's on the album. And still Cheech does. He's ghosting me. I don't know why. You probably want to ask right now, have you reached out to Tommy Chong yet? And my answer is no. I got to do that. I'll do it as soon as the heat breaks.
I wasn't going to ask that, as a matter of fact, because I haven't reached out either. And I can reach him just as easily as you can, and I haven't reached out.
Stephen, now write to Tommy and say, desperately, dying comedian desperately seeks your attention. Do that to Tommy right now.
On what, X or Instagram? Or?
It doesn't matter. He'll fucking just trash that sucker right away anyway. I just want you to get used to writing. Dying comedian desperately seeks your attention. Could you do that?
Yep.
And now let's just pretend I'm Jenna Jameson. I'm picking a very old. She's probably a 90-year-old porn star now, right? My tits are banging on my knees.
I honestly don't know. I'm not even sure I know what Jenna Jameson looks like.
I think she's a porn star from the 50s or 60s.
Show, or am I thinking of someone else?
You're thinking of someone else. This is I don't want to say she's one of the original, but like the original ones were Linda Lovelace and Marilyn
Tracy Lords.
I think Tracy was 10 years later. I mean, Marilyn.
But Tracy was 10 years old.
Yeah, but she was 10 years later. She was in the 80s. The 70s one, Linda Lovelace and Marilyn. Chambers.
Cool.
Can't think of any, but there were Seika. 70s porn stars. I think she came in like right around the end of the 70s, so she'd probably be like at least 80 now, right? Or
now,
70.
Actually, 70s porn. I remember there was a segment called "Name That Bush," and they just had close-ups of all these bushes from the 70s. And you had to name which porn star it belonged to because 70s was Bush League. That was Bush League porn.
Yeah. Steven, have you ever heard of pubic hair? Did you?
It doesn't bother me, honestly.
It doesn't bother you. You haven't seen it like a fucking afro, have you?
Are you kidding me? I was married to a Puerto Rican woman that didn't like to shave. Yes, I've seen it like an afro. Are you kidding me?
No, I don't know if it's 70s was out of control. I mean, you could see it was coming out of both sides of the panties.
Yeah, it periscopes over the underwear, and it like grabs your face when you go down on it, and sometimes it interlaces.
That's because you did it wrong. What you do is part of the foreplay is you cornroll it, so you braid it.
I mean, when it's out of.
It looks like Jason from Room 222.
Yeah, because my first wife, I should just braid it, and then I could go like, okay.
GD, if a woman pulls down her pants and I see your dreads fall out, I'm out. It's game over.
What are you assuming that GD's stuck up inside her bush? Is that what you're thinking?
No, he said he was braiding her pubic hair.
That's how racist you are. Braids and dreadlocks are not the same thing. Okay?
No, but I don't know at that length and texture. You don't know.
No, you can tell. You can tell between a braid and a dread. Okay?
I can't tell anything. I'm going to play news because Ron's not here. Because Ron's not here. That's why I'm playing the news.
United Nations diplomats convened Sunday to address the fallout from escalating hostilities between Iran and Israel.
The session aimed to assess humanitarian risks as regional strikes intensify. Country delegates urged immediate de-escalation and called for a ceasefire. Talks are expected to continue through the week. Chris Anderson reporting.
Iran's parliament has reportedly voted in favor of closing a key oil transit corridor, responding to rising tensions with Western nations. Joseph Eckerson reports.
The move comes shortly after the bombings at its nuclear facilities and could sharply impact global oil markets. Analysts warn that oil prices may spike if transit routes are disrupted. Markets are already reacting to news of the Iranian measure.
A major escalation in the Middle East continues to unfold after Saturday's US B-2 bombers targeted 3 Iranian nuclear sites in Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan.
The strikes aimed at degrading Iran's nuclear capabilities mark a significant expansion of U.S. involvement in the ongoing Iran-Israel conflict. Officials say the operation was precise, focusing exclusively on nuclear infrastructure. Global leaders are monitoring closely for Tehran's response.
This is the latest news headlines.
The Food and Drug Administration has approved Gilead Sciences' new HIV drug, lenacapavir, marketed as Yeztugo.
The medication offers long-acting prevention by requiring only twice-a-year dosing. Researchers say this could transform HIV prevention efforts and help reach patients with limited access to daily medication. Doctors hope it will improve adherence and outcomes for at-risk populations. Jessica Oakley reporting.
A tornado ripped through Enderlin, North Dakota Friday, killing 3 and leaving parts of the town damaged.
Emergency crews continue search and recovery operations in affected areas. State officials are assessing the full extent of the impact and have mobilized support services for displaced residents. Weather experts note the region experienced unusually intense storm patterns this season. Kyle Norris reporting.
Nippon Steel has finalized its $14.9 billion acquisition of U.S. steel, marking a major international investment in American heavy industry.
The agreement retains U.S. Steel's name and Pittsburgh headquarters, while giving the U.S. government veto power over future decisions. Market analysts say the deal may stabilize domestic steel supply, but raise regulatory scrutiny. Shareholders of both companies will vote on the transaction later this year. Kevin Sanders reporting.
Protests entered their 3rd week in Los Angeles following a wave of ICE raids targeting undocumented immigrants.
Demonstrators have clashed with law enforcement, prompting California Governor Gavin Newsom to sue the federal government over the presence of federalized National Guard troops. Over 575 people have been arrested, and several have been injured during the ongoing civil unrest. Authorities in Los Angeles County report at least a dozen officers and demonstrators hurt in the clashes. Lawrence Keller reporting.
And that's the latest news headline.
It's not the newest buff. It's the oldest. Isn't there a cure for HIV now? I thought there was. No? I think that. Look it up.
GD, you're muted.
Google it.
From what I understand, there's not a cure for it, but they've made it to where you can live with it and live a relatively normal life with it, but it's not curable.
All right. So they got all these prevention things. You can just take it twice a year, and then you're free to butt fuck anybody you want, right? That's basically what they're saying. You go butt fuck, take this pill and butt fuck whoever you want.
The newest thing the latest thing that I'm aware of is instead of a daily pill, they got it down to like 2 shots that you can take a year.
That's what they just said this product was, twice a year, yeah.
Right, and each shot is $14,000.
It's cheap. I mean, if you thought about all the butts you get to fuck for that 14,000. I mean, if you're a player and you're good at scoring ass, you can get a lot of ass for that $14,000, right? Oh wait, that's 28,000 a year.
Or you could just, buy condoms and be smart.
Yeah,
that's just not. You mow your grass with the bag on the mower. I guess you do.
I like the fucking grass.
I like to shoot my. Oh, that's right. I like to shoot my grass all over. I'm one of these guys who just.
You see, now I don't use the bag. I have this thing called the mulcher, which covers the hole and it just chops it up real fine.
Yeah, I like that.
Part of that, are we comparing that to? Because I'm confused to that analogy.
Well, it's just like the bag, the rubber. I never.
Well, no, I got all of the analogies up until he said a mulcher, and I'm like, what part of the is a mulcher? Because
the mulcher. No, mulcher is when you have a 3-way and the chick comes and eats your fucking cream pie out of the other chick.
I thought that was felching.
All right, whatever. But the point is, the bag is just uncomfortable. That's all. I mean, it's almost worth risking dying.
Is your bag on the side or in the back? Because that makes a difference. If your bag is on the side,
all this is making my cock very itchy.
But if your bag is in the back,
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of condoms, which is also why I'm not a fan of just like miscellaneous sex either. I generally like to be dating the person that I have sex with, because I don't like condoms, but I also like to be sure that I'm not going to catch something.
Listen, you're talking out of both sides of your ass and your mouth at the same time. You want to jump off a bridge, but you don't want to just take a risk of fucking for a disease that might take 20 years to kill you anyway.
Correct.
You're going to jump off that bridge long before you even know you even have the disease. And how would you even jump? How would you jump is the question. You'd have to be pushed.
Well, actually, I've already thought about how I'm gonna base jump or bungee jump.
Oh, now this is the problem. Once you say that, we got to call a suicide. Oh, we got to GD send the cops to his house. He thought about how he's going to do it. That's an escalation point.
Oh, dude, I've got a million ways to die. That's fine. But I'm talking about like actually bungee jumping or base jumping. I've thought about it. What I need is I just need a small curb at the edge of the ledge and just go at it really fast. So when I hit it, I fly out of the chair. And it gives me enough momentum to get over the edge.
I don't think there's a bungee cord that's strong enough to hold you on it, but I could just see you.
270 pounds. I'm not even that fat.
Oh,
I'm just short.
You look like you're 270,000 pounds, to be honest with you.
That's fair.
That's fair.
No, that's not fair. Do you know what 270,000 pounds looks like?
Like the USS Nimitz.
I've seen
probably heavier, but yeah.
I've seen 700 pounders, 1,000 pounders, and
I've seen me at 340 pounds, and it looked a lot bigger than I do now. So I'm okay with it.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to pick on. I don't mean to fat shame you. Listen,
I do.
You do?
This all weekend. It's fine. This is.
I smell garlic cooking.
I did because.
What time
you're
is it?
Italian. That's probably just everything you smell cooking.
No, you know what? My wife makes eggs with garlic and spinach.
That sounds amazing.
It's like,
is that an omelet?
No, it's eggs with. No, it's not an omelet. It's just eggs with spinach and garlic and spinach and spinach and garlic. Like, why? Whose idea
Does she
is that?
do this because she knows that you like those flavors?
No, I don't. When I want eggs, I just want bacon and eggs, yes. But I'd take plain eggs, no fucking spinach, no garlic on egg. Bah! I'd rather go to Burger King for sauce. Don't get me started on
this is one of the things I hate about researching stuff. I've been online looking for companies and pricing. Good morning. Good morning, Ann from California. Good morning. Because my wife and I are looking at getting an awning, a retractable awning for our deck.
So an off awning.
I've been going online doing research and stuff, and I've been getting phone calls.
Oh, you're dead.
Construction companies, and I'm it's like, look, I'm still researching. I don't want to talk to anybody yet. I'm just researching. I'm looking prices, reputations, and I'm getting calls. It's like, and the thing is, I'm not like answering anything and putting my phone number in. They're just feeling free to call me because I've searched for something.
Right.
Which, I mean, right now it's just construction people. But if I were researching sex dolls for the Reverend, because he doesn't do his own research, or whatever it is I'm researching, I don't like getting all the fucking phone calls. Just let me research in peace. That's all I'm asking.
What browser are you using? Are you using Chrome?
Yeah.
That's because they are definitely giving up some. They're not protecting you as they say they're protecting you. They're supposed to protect your privacy while you browse, so that people can't figure out this is G Defendant, and then let's go look up his phone number and look him up. We know he's looking for awnings. Let's get him. Chrome is supposed to protect you from that shit. They're not doing a good job. Maybe it's one of the settings you have to uncheck or check or whatever. But
it might be. But a lot of those websites have a feature where when you visit, if it'll pull that info and give it to them right away.
Right. Yeah. As soon as you go to their site to start researching, it's not like Google can protect me from that, because now I'm on somebody's site trying to research their prices and their services.
Yeah.
And I hate that. It's like it just makes me just want to just drive out to brick and mortar places and say,
When I was looking for a car, I only went to 2 car dealership sites, right? Just to look at inventory, because I really didn't want a payment, but I was just kind of browsing. Plus I was curious about a couple of cars. I got call after call for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I forgot. I have a file I have to get. I forgot about this. See, because it's just too hot. I have a file.
Whoa! Don't start complaining about it being too hot, Mister.
I know it's just that it just fucks with my memory. I'm not complaining. I love it hot. I'm just saying it fucks with my memory. I forgot to do this, but I get those phone calls. First of all, when they say it's the homeowner there, I say no. The homeowner's on vacation. This is the burglar. Homeowner will be back in about 2 weeks, I think. Hopefully. But I got one yesterday, and I said, "Listen, with your fucking spam calls, don't ever lose my number. And if you call me one more time, I'm going to find out where you are. I'm going to come to your office. I'm not going to kill you initially. I'm going to kill your whole family in front of you, make you watch, and then I will torture you, and then not let you die once you start begging me to kill you."
See, I go the other way. I start flirting with them. I'm like, man, you sound kind of cute.
Oh, that would scare the shit out of me. Ew.
And they're like, what? And I'm like, no, wait, hold on, don't hang up. We'll talk about what you're selling in a second. What's your name? And they're like, what?
I don't know what you're selling, but I know what I'm buying.
and are you over 12 years old? No. Oh, you're just my type, Steven. I'm sorry. Anyway, the spam calls. Now, do you get this on your phone? You get spam alerts because it's impossible spam.
Yeah, mine says usually potential spam. But this is a construction company. This is the name of the company.
Oh.
It was like, it was such and such and such as construction. It's like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to research. I want to research and get the pricing right. And then once I see some options, discuss it.
So, is this a philosophical thing? You don't. It's people, because I think you're more likely to get the best price if you're actually talking. You can't haggle with an online.
No, but here's my philosophy on that. Short of haggling, okay. There's like dozens and dozens and dozens of people out there that can probably put an awning on my deck. So I want to go down. I want to find out who does it. Check out the business what's the Better Business Bureau, what people say about those companies. And then once I get a handful, then I can say, what are you offering? This is what I want. How much is it going to cost me? And then I go to the next one, next one, like that. And then get the best prices and then say, okay, well, the best price I have is such and such. Can you meet that? That's what I want to do. Or they'll say, no, we can't meet it, but this is why we can't meet it. They can go that low because they use this quality, such and such. It's like it's like the people who put the deck in for our house before we moved in. They used whatever the lowest grade wood they could buy with knots in it. Like every piece of wood, every board had knots in it. Okay, that's not your primo number one wood. That's the kind of shit that beavers would reject. But I'm
John?
sure that.
Why are you picking on John?
Well, no, I'm saying he would reject that wood, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
That wood was very low quality. No one would want that wood. But I'm sure that when they did their pricing, that was the lowest price point because to use better wood would increase the price. And so sometimes you don't want the cheapest thing because the cheapest thing means you're getting the worst thing. You want something that's good quality, but not outrageously priced.
I like a cheap whore.
And you also don't want to, like one place, their prices when we got our deck, their prices was outrageous. And here's why they're saying we got Trex. We didn't get wood. We got Trex.
All right. There's more to the story.
Yeah, their Trex is reversible. See, so if you get one side is like, let's say you get sand, and then the other side, if you flip it over, is like walnut. And so if you get tired of sand, you can flip over the.
Stephen, where is this bridge? Where's this bridge, Stephen? Can you show me how to get to this bridge? We have breaking news.
The one I want to jump off, or the one I want to drive off of?
Whatever, it doesn't matter. We have breaking news.
Go ahead.
You don't want breaking news?
Good morning, Matt and GD. I'm here at the Beer Exchange in Kalamazoo, Michigan with comedian Lisa Green. Lisa, how are you today?
Feeling so great, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Lisa, do you know who Steven the Sitcom Ortiz is?
No idea.
Of course you don't. No one knows who the fuck that is. Well, Lisa, he's a fat bastard from Indiana.
Okay.
Spending all the time faking being in a wheelchair. No one really thinks he's crippled.
Oh, neat.
But he might be.
There
I
are a
don't
lot of
know.
fat bastards in Indiana.
He definitely is a fat bastard from Indiana. And he's also a, quote, comedian. But it's clear that he's not making a dent in the comedy community because he's just not funny. He's just a fat bastard. He basically looks like a potato with fuzz on his face.
Okay, potatoes from Indiana. Okay.
Yeah. Now that I've described him to you, do you have any interest whatsoever in seeing him in a comedy show?
I mean, the way that you are selling it, mayhaps.
Oh, man. She still wants to see him.
Put some reels in front of my face, and mayhaps I might think some things, but probably not.
Apparently, she's down. No one else is when I've described him.
I book shows. I have to be like, let's give him a chance because I apologize for men that way. So.
Well, honestly, he's a terrible comedian.
Sad.
Well, there you have it, Matt and GD. No one knows who the fuck Steven is.
I bet Ja would be so pissed if I met her and just fucked her and then was like, hey, go tell him I'm not funny.
No, you wouldn't fuck her. She would put a tab of butter on you, cut you down the middle, and wait for it to melt. And
that's fine, man. But that's it. Look, it is what it is, man. It's cool. That's fine.
But you're not really from Indiana, right? You're from Alabama, or you just happen.
No, I was born here. I was born here.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Nobody's perfect.
The crowd in the bar sounded enthusiastic, though.
Also, he said she was a medium, and I don't buy that. And also, when he mentioned potatoes, she looked like she got hungry. So I
definitely.
I won that one. So
listen, it got me a little excited. Potato. Who's got potatoes? I mean, I'm smelling garlic right now, and it's not doing well. But no. Yeah, we appreciate the Beaver's contribution to the program with that very enlightening piece. Who the fuck is Steven? What's your see? You gotta. Are you gonna stick with this last name forever now, or are you gonna? What are you doing?
No, if the fucking divorce papers will ever get here.
Oh, stop!
The mail in this town is horrible. And
it is. It is.
And when I went and picked my stuff up from my ex-wife over the weekend, I asked her, I was like, "Where the fuck's the paper?" She goes, "The courthouse is sending them." So I haven't gotten them yet.
It doesn't really. You don't have to actually have the divorce papers to go change your name to Diddles Kids.
That's not an option, but okay.
What do you mean that's not an option? You could change your name to whatever you want, and if that sounds appropriate.
No, there's some names you cannot use in some states.
Really, you can't use Diddles Kids. Diddles
I
Kids.
I don't know about in Indiana, but
that one will probably get reviewed.
Steven Diddles Kids.
Some states have limitations on the names you can use, and sometimes it's simply because of the computer system that they're using. It only has let's say 16 spaces for letters, and so you can't have a name that's 17 spaces because they stop at 16 or something like that. So in some places, they're just literally some names you cannot use.
Wow. All right, so maybe Diddle Skids is out. But it sounds like Diddle Skids instead of Diddle Skids.
That still sounds terrible.
I know.
Not better.
But it doesn't sound illegal.
It sounds pretty close to illegal still.
Skids, Diddle Skids. I don't know.
Misdemeanor like.
Bieber said I'm doing some shock jock stuff here. Am I? What did I shock jock you?
I think it was the battery clips on the nipples that he was talking about.
I don't remember that.
The shock,
but I say a lot of shit I don't remember. But coming back to what I was talking about earlier on for some stupid reason, Mike was talking about Opie. And how Opie used to do stupid voices. And Opie, I don't do stupid voices. It's like, you're doing one now, you stupid fuck. I mean, he clearly has no self-awareness about all the voices he does. But he was talking about how, in his mind, in Mike's mind, Opie and Anthony invented what Carl Hamburger and what I thought Mike was doing, basically analyzing other people's shows and putting them down. Now, I will come back to the point that I don't think Mike is necessarily doing. He's just having some fun with it. But I think that's what Carl is definitely doing. He's going to look at other people's shows just so he can tear them apart. And he claimed that Opie and Anthony are responsible for that, even more than Stern was responsible for that. And I say, nay, nay, nay. Look, because I got this from Seinfeld, this finger. I borrowed it from Seinfeld.
Now I first saw that with Pinoge. Pinot. It was a big, huge comedian, physically huge, and he go, I say nay nay.
Nay nay, nay nay. I say right. But the other guy, the guy from Seinfeld, was predated that. I think very bad man. You're a very bad man. No, that guy. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I am going to say it wasn't Opie that did this, that created this negativity swirl that you see in a lot of podcasts. It was Anthony. Opie, because I am one of the few people, I think, I really mean this, one of the few people who witnessed Opie's act before Anthony came on the scene. And Opie was a much different guy before Anthony got there. He was doing all Don Imus bits, which made me feel like, hey, wait, this guy's because he would call. This was his thing on WBAB. He'd call up women and say, "What are you wearing, baby?" Now that was Don Imus from 1973. It was not. By the time Opie was doing it in 1993, it was 20 years outdated at that point. I mean, it was old hat. But that's what he was doing. What are you wearing, baby? Like, come on. I mean, Imus, when he was just starting out in New York, used to do that stuff. But that's who Opie was. He wasn't this kind of shock jock at that point that he became after Anthony joined. Now, I'm not giving Anthony credit for this. I'm giving him blame for it. But if you were around in those days, Opie didn't come up with any of that stuff on his own. He was basically a Columbia School of Broadcasting radio jock. I'll give you the time, the weather, play a song or two, come back and try to think of something funny to say and play another song deal. It wasn't that shock jock stuff. So, but people don't know that. They know of the Opie and Anthony stuff. And I'm finding out there are a lot more people who followed Opie and Anthony religiously more than I ever thought. Like, to a lot of people, they were bigger than Stern. And they were about stunts. Let's I don't know, do something in the streets, have a march about the mayor being gay or something crazy like that. But just do stunts and stuff. And what can we do with that? We can't do nothing with that. We can't. One of the stunts Anthony came up with, which I think it can't be done again, was to have a woman come and shove an iPhone up her twat, and then call it and see if we can hear it ring. That's shock jock stuff. Like, yeah, she's got a fucking iPhone in her vagina, and we can call it and hear it ring. But there's nothing I can.
What if it's set to vibrate? Then you wouldn't hear it ring, right?
Right, but you'd hear her ring.
Okay.
Yeah. She go, and that would be
interesting ringtone.
That's the ringtone, right? But so the point, there's nothing that can be done. There's no new ground to be covered. We've gone to the edge of the universe and back in shock jocking. There's nothing new, unless Matt, you guys want to correct me on that.
With that shirt that you're wearing, it looks like an old Star Trek shirt.
It is.
Is it?
You didn't know I was on Star Trek?
Fucking nerd.
It is because I'm out of fucking t-shirts to wear.
I think actually that shirt is much predates. I think that shirt is like Star Search Trek. It's a
hello.
The fuck does that even mean?
Well, Star Search was an old show with, I think it was Ed McMahon, and it was like America's Got Talent. McMahon? It was before America's Got Talent, but after the Lawrence Welk Amateur Hour.
I think you're thinking of Arthur Godfrey's Amateur Hour. Lawrence Welk
didn't have an amateur hour?
No, Lawrence Welk had the champagne and whatever, champagne toast hour, whatever. But his was all, it wasn't amateurs on Lawrence Welk. It was all.
Oh, okay. Because I thought some of the people on Lawrence Welk were amateurs, like they were like really good amateurs.
He gave people some breaks in their first television appearance, but they weren't necessarily amateurs. They were people who were performing. But Stephen, tell you're kidding when you say who was Ed McMahon, right?
No, I know who Ed McMahon is.
Yeah, but he doesn't know him from Johnny Carson. He knows him from Publishers Clearinghouse.
No,
Alpo Dog Food.
I know him from Johnny Carson, and I also know him from Publishers Clearinghouse.
No, you were baby when Carson went off the air. Retired.
I've watched some old Carson stuff.
Wow, how do you? Why would you? That would be like me going back and watching like Earl Burl or something from the 50s or something before I was born. Television.
Well, I really enjoyed the late night TV stuff in the 90s and 2000s, like Conan O'Brien and Jay Leno and David Letterman. And I knew that they came, like, I knew there was people before them. So I was curious about it. So I went back and I looked at,
Did you look at Jack Parr?
That's what I was just going to say. Jack Parr.
Jack Parr sounds familiar, but it was mostly Johnny Carson.
Jack Parr was directly before Carson on the Tonight Show. There was Steve Allen, and then there was Jack Parr, and then there was Johnny Carson. Jack Parr had a nervous breakdown on the air, like totally lost his fucking mind. It was live in those days. So the Tonight Show was live, and he just totally fucking, I don't remember what he was saying, but it was clear the man
he was saying, Zsa, let me pet your cat. I think that's what he was doing. That drove him crazy.
That was even before Zsa Zsa's cat was born. So consult with Mandela on that. Anyway, so yeah, I'm glad you did your homework on that. You don't do your homework on fucking comedians, even though Johnny was kind of in the comedian realm, but he was a talk show host. But you don't do your homework on.
But Johnny Carson may have helped one or two comedians get their,
one or two. How about Joan Rivers?
I'm thinking, Joan Rivers comes to mind. Although I think he started hating her after a while.
Oh yeah, no, he hated her when Fox offered her show directly in competition with his. She didn't even call him. Now, this is bad on Joan. She didn't even call him to say, "I got this offer from them. what do you think? Or should I take it? Or, can you offer me something better so I can say no? Because it's so much money, it's really hard to turn. She didn't do the right thing. Because Johnny was responsible for her career at that point. She should have fucking done the right thing and said, Johnny, Fox is calling me. They want me to compete with you. What would you suggest my answer be? Anything like that.
Now that's funny because I remember I had called David Letterman and I said, David, I'm being offered this show that's going to be like right opposite you on YouTube. And should I take the gig? And he goes, who the fuck are you again?
How'd you get this number?
Yeah.
What the fuck is YouTube?
Yeah. He was like really indignant. And that's why David Letterman and I aren't friends to this day.
Wow. I came this close. You see that close?
Penis width.
Right. Or well, if you're Steven. To talking to David Letterman, because Jeff Altman, I don't know if you know this about Jeff Altman.
Yeah, he's a comedian.
He's very good friends with Dave Letterman. They're pals. They're pals going back to before the Comedy Store. And when I had Jeff Altman on, Dave called him, and he, not knowing that he was doing a stupid little digital broadcast or something. And he said, I got to go. I'm doing a thing right now. I'm like, don't let him go. That's David Letterman. I mean, I hate to say this, but he's more important.
I was in the same room as David Letterman once, but
wow.
I didn't have the nerve to talk to him. No, it was at Notre Dame. I was working for Sprint, and I had they'd given me friends and family tickets and hospitality tent passes. And that's where all of the big shots were, was in the hospitality tent because it was heated and had a buffet and free alcohol and all that good stuff. And he was all the way across the room, but it was like a bunch of people over there. But he walked by and I was like, oh shit, that's David Letterman. And I had no fucking nerve to go even try to say hi.
So basically what you're telling us is you're a pussy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
And
I regretted it ever since.
You could have called me and said, Matt, what should I do? And I would say, Mr. Letterman, I'm a dying comedian desperate for your attention.
I wasn't a comedian yet, so.
Or I'm a dying fucking loser. Desperate kid. You're my Make-A-Wish. You are my fucking Disney. And
yeah, that's it. See, if you being in the were in the wheelchair then, or were you still in crutches?
Oh, I used both, but I was in the wheelchair at the time. Yeah.
Oh, then you go up to him, make him go right on up to with the wheelchair. Because who's gonna manhandle a guy in the wheelchair? A kid in the wheelchair. Right?
What the fuck is the point of being a cripple if you're not going to use it to your advantage?
Yes, you're a kid rolling up to David Letterman and somebody.
I'm a really bad cripple.
You're setting a bad example for cripple wannabes.
And you say that like they're good ones. It's like, I'm a really bad cripple.
Well, yeah, because the good ones Make-A-Wish and they got name brand diseases.
Yeah, so they have name brand diseases. Yeah, they have name brand conditions, and you don't have that.
They get all the help. Yeah, so it's bullshit. Fuck those guys. They get all the help anyway.
So you should have gone right on up to him. Mr. Letterman, may I have some more, please? Or something. Like one of those poor orphans.
Yeah.
Will you sign my wheelchair?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he was still either on TV or was just.
Doesn't matter. You are a fucking dying last wish kind of guy. I got cancer of everything, Mr. Letterman. My dying wish was just to say hello to you and have a few words and get you on the Mind Dog TV.
I'm suffering from Jay Leno disease. Can you help me?
You know what's crazy is my parents and my parents' friends would use my disability more than I do. Like regularly, like if somebody was performing at the fair that they wanted to meet, they would fucking wheel me up to the front row and get their attention and be like, he wants to meet you.
See, they weren't fucking idiots. I don't know. I thought basically your parents must be idiots considering looking at you and listening to you. But apparently they weren't idiots. They know how to fucking manipulate and take advantage of a...
True, I'm still paying back the overpayments from disability because of them. So yeah, they were pretty smart.
Yeah, good for them. But your dad is doing well, and you love him, and you're proud of him.
Yeah, I just keep seeing these pictures. I don't know if these are new pictures of you and your dad, or it's just like the same old picture that just keeps showing up slowly over time over different sites. I have no idea.
Nope, he's doing.
And I'm tired of liking the same fucking picture. So if it's not a new picture, just number them, so I know when I've seen that number. Because I want to like the same picture twice. I don't even want to like your dad on principle.
Yeah, exactly. When I see you with you,
I'm not his biggest fan. I didn't want to see him die that way. That was miserable and horrible. But that's
let me clue you in. There's no good way to die. Every way to die sucks. So what difference does it make?
I can think of some ways that probably are less sucky than others, though.
You think what we're going to be experiencing, like probably by 1 o'clock today, melting in a nuclear.
No, I'm not. I don't live near anything, anywhere that's worth blowing up is so far away.
No.
That I'm not going to get the instant death. I'm going to get the cancer fallout. Is what's going to happen.
No. You don't live far. You don't understand. You don't live far enough away from from any place that could get totally. And the dust will travel, and you will definitely melt.
That's what I said. I'm not going to get the instant burn. I'm not going to get the rate. I'm not going to get that.
You will. It's just on delay, but it will still be instant, and it will still be like quick meltdown.
No.
Yes,
because I'm pretty sure the blast radius for the biggest nuke is like 50 miles or something like that, right?
So ask the people who live like 50 miles from Hiroshima how it feels to be. And that was a tiny little.
There was a guy that survived at ground zero. So you never know.
You can't ask the people from Hiroshima. You know why? Because they fucking melted.
I know. They turned into dust. I know. I just say I'm about 150, 200 miles from anywhere worth blowing up.
Bieber has some good breaking news. We have breaking news. You're gonna get the bullet in a dystopian society. Sorry, Steven. Strongest and smartest survive.
So.
And that rules you out. So anyway,
quick and easy, man.
If I can come back to David. Hi, Dave. David Letterman. Have you guys remember a guy named? You weren't big Letterman watchers, right? You didn't. You know. Letterman guests. Did you watch?
No, I had a lot of friends that were, and especially with the top 10 stuff, they're like, Letterman's
love the top 10 list. Yeah, that was great.
Harvey Pekar. Harvey Pekar. Does that you know who he is?
Harvey Pekar?
Pekar, A-R, not E-R.
I don't think so.
He was a frequent guest on Letterman. He was a guy who wrote like a graphic novel, comic book shit. He was an orderly in a hospital, and he wrote this. He came up with this comic book or graphic novel about his life working at the house, and he never gave up his day job because he wasn't selling enough of this. Somehow, Letterman thought this guy was worthy of having on his show, not just once, but over and over again. And the guy would come on. So fucking angry at Letterman, like God dare, like he hated Letterman, and he didn't try in any way to hide his disdain for Letterman. He was just an asshole, and Letterman kept having him back. And then after he died, Letterman apologized for not being nicer to him. Like, this guy came on your show where he should have been grateful. He was actually not making any fucking money with this fucking thing, still working a day job. You were helping him promote his little fucking graphic novel there, and he was angry about it and just angry in general. And you kept having him on. You were doing him a favor, and you think you should have been nicer to him when he was being a dick to you. But I was thinking about that the other day. I don't know why it was on my mind, but whatever happened to that Harvey Pekar guy? And then I looked up and he was dead. But somebody on Facebook said, "Oh, I just caught all these segments from late night with this guy Harvey Pekar," and I was like, "Wow, it's synchronicity. You must have been reading my mind, or you," because I was just thinking about that 20 minutes ago. But and then I looked it up, and he died in 2010. Guy was a fucking. But the Jack Parr thing made me think of him.
Oh, okay. I recognize him now. Yeah, I remember him being on there. Yeah,
fucking totally.
He seemed like he fucking hated everything and everyone all the time when he was on there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And like the world owed him something for him doing his little graphic novel. Like
Letterman just laughed the whole time.
Yeah, I think at some point he was like trying to tell him to get some medication or stuff, but he felt bad that he wasn't nicer to this guy, which is remarkable to me. Like, he wasn't the one who started the fucking fight. This guy came on a guest on one of the biggest, most popular shows of its era, a chance to promote his work, this guy's doing you a favor, and you come on with an attitude right away. I would not be.
He didn't want it. Well, to be honest, and this is what I understand because I barely remember it. His wife, he didn't want to do the show. His wife has talked him into it. He didn't want to do the show. He wasn't comfortable doing it. He wasn't comfortable at all being in that situation. So his wife was the one saying, "You should do this." And
seems like the kind of guy that would have told his wife to fuck off. I don't want to. So
yeah,
maybe or
weird.
Look, we don't know what their kind of relationship he and his wife had. So maybe he trusts his wife's judgment, or maybe he just was saying,
I would be shocked.
or maybe he's like, this isn't going to work, but the only way to convince her it's not going to work is for me to do it and it not work. I don't know the answer. I was not privy to that, spousal privilege and stuff like that.
Turns out he was married, because I was going to say I would be shocked to think this guy was ever married, but he obviously, I'm wrong about this on Wikipedia. He was married right up until the time he died. I would have been shocked by that, because how could anybody live with this fucking guy? He was just a fucking madman, crazy, nasty motherfucker. Sorry, I know you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead, but this guy was a dick. Anyway. I would never do that. I would never do that. I would never.
Do what? Go on David Letterman's show?
Yeah, I would never be mean to somebody who, or disrespectful of somebody who was kind enough to give me an opportunity to be on their show. You know that, right?
I guess I've never seen you. Oh no, I've never seen you on anybody else's show.
I've been on your show.
Mine, yeah, but you weren't really mean, so
I was very nice, right? I was respectful. I was appreciative.
For you, you were nice and respectful. Yeah,
you're nice for an old white guy.
But let's face it, I'm a very good host, and so there's no reason to not be nice and respectful. I mean, I
think you're a very good parasite, not necessarily a very good host. Here's to me. This coffee's for you. It's Monday morning, and we're still here. We're not blown up yet. Are you shocked? Sounds like my wife is. Oh, it's Monday. No wonder she's home.
I'm just glad I live work on Monday. Fucking nowhere, Indiana.
I'm wondering why I don't. I'm wondering why I don't have the house to myself, and then I just realized it's Monday. She's off Monday.
Oh, thank God it's not Sunday. Otherwise, we'd be on the wrong show.
Right.
I have a question real quick, and this is probably the wrong thing to ask.
I think you're lying. I don't think you have a question real quick.
I may not even be asking the right people, because you guys may not even know. Okay.
I know.
But there was a show a while back called Beyond Confidential, I think. Do you know whatever happened to it?
Beyond Classified? Is that what you're talking about?
Classified. Do you know if that show's ever coming back? Or
it is coming back without Stephen Ortiz. I was thinking about it the other day. I don't know how to say this. I want to do an Alex Jones type of thing about like conspiracy theories and call it Beyond Classified without Stephen Ortiz. That's going to be the name of the show. Beyond Classified without Stephen Ortiz. I don't know if I can rebrand the YouTube channel, if I have to start a whole new one, but I'll host it and just come up with, because I do have a couple of conspiracy theories in the back of my mind that I'm ruminating on. I think so. I'd like to just say outrageous stuff and see if I can get some people to say, "Oh, well, look what this sick fucking," and then they spread it around like viral pneumonia or something, and then I'm all over the web saying shit that I don't really mean or don't even really believe in, but people think I do, and now everybody's calling me an asshole. That's my goal.
You're an asshole. You're an asshole.
That's my goal in life, to say shit I don't. Oh, look. Garlic, egg, spinach
with avocado.
Wait a minute, you made that right up the side there?
I'm pretty quick, right? One-handed.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck is this? A goddamn morning talk show with the fucking food segment?
This is like Top Chef, and now the judge gets to taste the meal.
No, he's the bottom chef.
It's more like, look what we found in the garbage. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm waiting to see an egg hit you in the face.
So Thursday, you remember last Thursday? You remember what day it was, GD? Do you remember what day it was last Thursday?
Yeah, it was the 19th.
And what day is that?
Thursday.
No, I know in the federal government it's known as Thursday, but what day is it?
Juneteenth. Yeah,
Right.
Juneteenth.
Apparently,
yeah, go ahead.
it's also my trash day here where they
Yeah.
pick up the trash. But apparently Brookhaven didn't get the memo from the federal government and gave all the trash guys off on Thursday. So I put the trash out at 7:30 in the morning when I got home from my class or whatever the hell I was doing that day. And in the evening, the trash was still out there. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't get it out early enough. And then my wife said, no, it was Juneteenth, and the garbage company gives their people off on that day. I was like, that's very nice. Now I'm bringing this stuff in, but and when you live in that world, here it's punishment. They give you the day off, right? Get the day off with pay, but now Monday comes. You're going to be getting so much fucking garbage that it's going to take 4 guys to empty every fucking single pail, right? So here's the punishment for getting that day off. You're going to have to work 3 times as hard in the burning heat on Monday when you were out of work Thursday. Work through the Thursday and not have
Are you getting double time or time and a half for working the Thursday?
I don't know. I didn't think it's true. I'm just thinking they're being punished for getting that day off, right?
Because like here, like for example, those people who got their trash picked up on Thursday and didn't get their trash picked up on Thursday got it picked up on Friday. They didn't have to wait a whole week to get it done. So it wasn't like they're twice as much trash. It's just a day behind. And then somewhere along the line they make it up.
My wife said they used to do it the day after, but they didn't this year. They definitely didn't come on Friday. So they got this morning. I was just bringing the trash out there, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Our town sends out a calendar at the beginning of the year that shows when the alternate holiday trash days are.
That's because you live in a very white town where they send out stuff with.
Yeah,
actually, our town is a good mix of actually Amish and
we've heard this story already. Now I'm gonna eat some spinach. Watch my muscles grow like Popeye. Go ahead, sing the music. Boom, 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 boom. Nothing.
You didn't do enough spinach. First of all, he takes it right out the can. So
he did. He squeezed the can.
Right.
He doesn't eat it with garlic like
he's strong enough. He's strong enough to squeeze the can and get the spinach out without the spinach. That's how strong he is. So just and we don't know that if it's the spinach or if it's the spinach absorbing the minerals from inside the can.
That could be.
He did that with box spinach. Would it work?
I've
seen him do it with raw spinach. I've seen him do it with raw spinach.
Crumpled in what
environment QC says dead chat, not today. Hype up your stream with
you're insulting the chat room. He's calling our chatters dead.
That message is like that message appears in our chat room like 3 times with different people. They just copied that dead chat shit down to the .com, even the same website, you know. And they're all from Kick. Or is that what K is, Kick?
No, that's Kick.
That's what he just said.
No, it's Kick.
Okay.
Hey, you got a little schmaltz on your lip there, bud.
It's not Kick. It's Kick.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, get the spinach off your lip.
That was when the first time.
I regret it. I hate it all.
The first time I had Jelly Roll on a radio show that I did. This is before he was a doctor. This was before he was a doctor and a reverend. The other host, a guy named Joe, couldn't no matter how you pronounce Jelly's name, Jelly would correct him and say, "No, it's Jelly." He goes, "Yeah, Jelly, Jelly." It just kept correcting him regardless of how he said it. That's what that Kick reminds me of.
I think I'd rather go hungry than eat this. But obviously I'm not. I'm gonna eat this in front of you guys.
Okay.
Would you like some?
I'm good.
No, thank you. I'm whoa. What the fuck?
I'm garlic Bedic.
I'm sweating.
He's getting the egg sweats.
Now,
hold on. Would you accept that? Would you accepted those ingredients if this was an egg sandwich with spinach on top?
No. The sandwich is bacon, egg, and cheese, salt and pepper. Some people
Scrambled
put
or fried?
ketchup. Some people put ketchup on it. To me, that's
Scrambled
so.
or fried? How the eggs made?
Medium.
Toast, scrambled, fried.
I say medium, and generally they always fuck it up and make them.
What the fuck is a medium egg?
Medium
It's
over
not.
easy?
It's not quite sunny. It's not like runny. It's not because they can make them well done where the yolk is fucking hard as a rock,
Right.
Or it can be soft as mush. It's right in the medium, right in the middle there. That's
So
what
where
we
it's like it's hard on the ends, but it runs just a tad.
it won't spit when you go to bite the fucking sandwich. It won't squirt out on your fucking
Right.
shirt on your way to work. That's what medium means. So yeah, no, I would not eat. I would not love it that way. Ice, you know about ice? It's very cold.
Yeah,
ice.
matter of fact, I got some right here.
That's nice. Ice is apparently inflicting terror upon people who are legitimately here working under work visas. People are fucking scared. They're not leaving their house. They're not going to work. They're kind of deadlocking themselves in it. That's not a good thing because they know where you live, right? I'd rather be in public where at least they can make a spectacle out of it and people will know that I've been disappeared. And I'm just trying to get your take on this. Would you rather bunker yourself in and wait for them to come and get you and nobody knows?
What state are you in? And the reason why I say this is
you know
because
what state I'm in.
if you're in a state where you have the castle rules, because you got these guys, they're masked, they're not carrying ID,
right?
So they look just like intruders. And if they're going to look just like intruders, I'd rather. And I'm in a state where I'm a gun owner, and
stand your ground laws, right?
If I was in one of those states, come and get me where my gun is, because they should have identified themselves. They should have badges. They should have marked cars. They should have warrants. But if they're just going to bang the door down, then they deserve to be shot. And that would make a statement across the country. Stop acting like burglars and act like government officials and do official government work.
All right, what's the deal here with these masks?
Part of it is the fact that I think they're trying to. I think Trump and them know that there's going to be lawsuits. Okay, and the harder it is for you to identify people to testify, to put under oath, the better it is for the government.
That kind of makes sense.
And also, people they're trying to also instill terror. They want people to be afraid, and so, and again, they're not going to get, if they were to approach me without badges, they're not going to get fear. They're going to get the first one to touch me is getting a broken nose. And if I don't hit them well enough to shove that bone right up into their brain, or take out their larynx with one shot, then one of them will be critically injured.
Even the Gestapo didn't go that far, though. This is like a new twist. This is where it got me surprised. Like, how did Trump think of this? I mean, it's not.
I don't think Trump did think of it. I think Stephen Miller thought of it, or Tom Horman.
All right, there you go.
Trump isn't smart enough to think of these things. Trump just has.
That was my point. It's like he doesn't do anything original. Like he was just following the Nazi handbook. But you're right. Probably didn't think of it. It was probably Miller or
half of these things, because Trump's not smart. That's why I hate lawyers. Okay, not because lawyers themselves are bad, but because half the things that Trump wants to do, some lawyers are trying to find a loophole in the law that says he can do it. And they're just saying, fuck the people, fuck the spirit of the law, fuck freedom, fuck the Constitution. We're going to look for loopholes. And there are lawyers that are doing it. That's why I hate lawyers. It's not because they're lawyers. It's because of the lawyers that look for loopholes to make our lives miserable. Not the lawyers that fight for people to help make things better.
All right. Now, if we go back, and I think you will recall this, where I was making fun of you.
Of course. Every day. So which year are you talking about?
Before the election. When I was saying shit could go wrong, and you were saying, but the Constitution.
Oh, well, I wasn't just saying but the Constitution, but go ahead.
Yeah, the Constitution has been ripped up shit on, used for toilet paper and flushed away. right? So I haven't heard you talk about this Palantir thing at all, but we have a guest on who, not today, but somebody just wrote to me about coming on about talking about the intricacies of Palantir and what it means on collecting all its data on people and how they might use it against you. I haven't heard you talk about, because clearly that is a statement. If people don't know, Palantir is this Peter Thiel database of information on everybody. I mean, minutia of information on everybody, way beyond the NDAA, like the databases they kept on us after 9/11, and the privacy issues it concerns. That is a clear statement that the Constitution is a thing of the past. It doesn't even fucking exist, and I haven't even heard you talk about Palantir at all.
Well, see, it's not that here's the problem with the what you just said. The Constitution itself does not do anything. It's the people that have to do things. So, in order for, let's say this palindrome company that you're talking about,
Palantir,
yeah, they make palindromes, all right.
Palantir.
Okay. In order for that company
Jelly.
to challenge,
Jelly.
it has to be challenged in court. Okay. The final. Someone has to sue them, blah, 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 go up to this court, that's this court, until finally the constitutionality of it is brought before the Supreme Court, I guess. And this is where it makes a difference, who is there. And also with Congress, how they're going to, because Congress can write a law to make things clearer, what you can and cannot do. So it's not that I'm am like a constitutional scholar or anything like that, or I think the Constitution is magic. I look at the Constitution like I look at the foundation of a house. Okay, our country was founded on that Constitution, and if it's reinforced and taken care of properly, it should,
that's a very astute analysis and a great way of explaining that, but that negates the Constitution, because the Constitution, as you say, is nothing on its own. It needs the people to reinforce it. So when you say the Constitution,
yeah, but your characterization of that is not the way I was trying.
You were holding up a white piece of paper that had nothing really on it.
No, it was not.
Your credit card payment is due on Wednesday. The Constitution.
No, I actually have a copy of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights that I actually can wave around.
But you were waving around your credit card bill.
That's not the point. Because that paper is meaningless. Okay.
So why were you waving it around?
I wasn't waving it around.
Oh, it must have been
saying that when these things go to court, it's how we interpret the Constitution. That's the only thing that's what's going to make a difference. Because you're going to have two sides arguing. But the fucking problem that we're going to really have now is that there are justices who are twisting shit in any way they can just because they have a viewpoint of what they want the country to look like. And so they're going to interpret the Constitution to support what they think the country should look like.
So basically, let me interpret for the people who don't understand what you just said. It's over. Give up. Go find that bridge that Stephen is looking at.
No, and that's not what I say.
That's what you just said.
No, that's not what I said, and that's not even close to what I said. That's, I believe that we still need to fight. We still need to write. We still need to protest. We still need to do all the things that we can.
How fucking lame is that? Oh, protest, right? I'm gonna write you a strong letter. Wait till you see the fucking letter Schumer writes about the bombs in Iran. It's gonna be so fucking strongly worded.
I'm not even talking about. I know. I'm saying us, we the people. I'm not talking about the politicians. I'm talking about we the people.
Right. I'm gonna write you a letter, dear sir. I think you are. Your mother was a skank whore. Who cares?
And I'm not talking. And that's why notice I mentioned multiple things, not just letters. I said letters, protests, phone calls. We have to do all the things that we can do. To first of all put pressure on those politicians that can be swayed.
All right, here so letters, phone calls, and protests. So all three of those ended up getting around bombs for just sitting there. They were just having lunch, and all of a sudden bombs started falling because of the protests. You know what I'll do?
Now you're comparing apples and turds. Okay, you're not even in the same realm. You're comparing apples and turds. The bombing of Iran has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Just a choke on an ovum.
I hope your wife starts poisoning you a little bit every time you
starts or stops. Starts or stops. I'm not sure what you just said.
Starts, but I mean
starts. That was like years ago, 20 years ago. Yesterday, she had me putting together a bench that because she's got this beautiful side yard she's been working on. It only had one bench. She ordered another bench to match. I got to put it together, and I'm thinking,
why you do not know how.
I told her before we ever got together, I'm not a handyman. I don't have aptitude for it. I'm going to suck at it, and I hate doing it.
And the patience. You don't have the fucking patience for it.
That's what I mean by aptitude.
But that's not the same as patience.
Right. But you keep ordering stuff for me to put together. And as I'm doing it, I'm thinking, if I tell her, like, I'm taking her off the beneficiary for the insurance. I'm taking her out of my will, whatever. Will she stop trying to kill me this way? Because I think this is her plan, is I'm going to have a fucking stroke putting these benches together or whatever it is. Put this together. I'm not the put together guy. Why don't they fucking send it put together?
I'm going to make a suggestion for you, Matt.
Die?
No,
yeah, that would be good. Oh.
Let your wife.
I'm going to die right now.
No, I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say let her, because that sounds like you're giving her permission. I'm going to say do not object to your wife having a little side piece or guy who could do handiwork for stuff,
That's my thing. I say, listen, you were young and beautiful once. You should have got a handyman then.
Oh, no. See, you're going about the wrong way. He's not going to poison you. You're going to wind up with just straight up fork in your eye.
That would be fine.
You never say you were young and beautiful once.
Long time ago.
No, you don't know. No.
I know. There's listen, I know there's a beating coming as soon as I play "Turn on Your Radio" or whatever. It's over for me.
We're gonna be on for 4 hours today.
I'm not ending this show ever. I didn't know.
Do you guys have to go? Well, no, stay.
Please.
This reminds me of when we were kids, and you knew when you got home you was going to get a beating, so you brought your friends home with you, thinking that your parents wouldn't beat you in front of your friends. My mother still beat us. My mother would beat me in front of my friends. She didn't give a shit. Matter of fact, if my friends said anything, she'd beat them too.
Yeah.
My mother had no problem with beating us and my friends.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I knew I was in trouble, I wasn't like one of those kids that says, "Come home with me. My parents won't hit me in front of you." It's like
Steven isn't even waiting. He left already. He's like, I'm not witnessing this shit. I'm out of here.
I think he went to go get some popcorn so he had something to eat when it happened.
Could be.
Shit. Oh, gut punch.
Yeah. So I don't know what I could say at this point to fix the damage I've done. But the point is, she should have. Before she accepted me, which was a dumb move on her part. Listen, I think we can all agree, accepting me into your life is a mistake for anybody. She could have said, "I no."
Well, maybe not. Maybe okay. If she were, you said for anybody, and I'm not going to defend her choices in men. I'm not. That's not why I'm here. What I'm saying is that, for example, let's say Charo. Okay, Charo approached you. She's a musician, and she goes, gitchy, and she approaches you because she wants someone to play guitar with her. Maybe you'd be a good match for Charo. I'm only saying Charo because I can't think of a lot of female guitarists that are your age.
Yeah. You just reminded me of Black Bitch. when we played a place called Hurricane Harry's, and it was mostly predominantly white crowd. There was a black girl who danced in front of me all the time, and she would like dance seductively in front of me. And one time I said, "Hey, baby, what's your name?" Now I was already married. I wasn't coming on to. I was just like asking her what her name is.
Like musicians do from the stage when there's a woman out there. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
what's going on, girl?
And she told me, I said, "What's your name?" She said, "They call me Black Bitch." I was like, "Well, okay." And ladies and gentlemen, but then she started coming to every gig, and I would call, "Hey, Black Bitch is here," and people would get on me like I'm being like a racist motherfucker. I'm just saying, this is what she likes to be called. I don't know. This is not I didn't make it up.
Right.
And there's videos of her dancing in front of me. And my wife asked me, "Who was that?" And I'm like, "That's Black Bitch."
Some black bitch.
No, not some black bitch. That's Black Bitch. That's her name.
That's because she's the black bitch. That's
like, why do you got to be like that? Why do I got to be like that? That's what she told me her name is. That's what they call her, Black Bitch.
Look, there was a friend of the family. His name is Faggot Frank. Okay, that's what he answered to. When you asked him his name, he said Faggot Frank, because we had many Franks. You know, Frank was a pretty common name, and so we had a lot of Franks. This was Faggot Frank. This is how he wanted to be known, because and he wore a boa. He was flamboyant. It's not like you were going to meet him and go, "You must be fierce and ferocious, Frank." No.
Yeah.
That's what he called himself.
Did you think of like giving him like a nick, like a short, like fag?
No.
Oh.
No.
Because that would be short. What are you chewing on, Steve? There's no eating allowed on this show.
I was a child. This person was he was a friend of my parents.
Wait a minute. Steven is violating the no eating rule on this show.
I was feeling a little nauseated watching you gag on garlic eggs, so I had to go get a Pop-Tart.
What a fucking weak excuse that is. There's no eating on this show. Don't ever let me see anybody eat again on this show. Go ahead, you were saying.
Sir, that we had people on our show by refined and
Yeah, English muffins are no good after the eggs are gone. It's just no good.
It's a cunt hair. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. I guess we have nothing left to talk about.
Well, I was saying that Frank was a friend of. I didn't call him anything other than what Matter of fact, because of my age, to me he was like Mr. Frank. Everybody was like Mr. or Ms. like that. That was polite. But it was the other people, the other grown-ups, that called him those things.
The filling in the Pop-Tart doesn't count as a serving of fruit.
The fact that you get fucking filled up like a Pop-Tart doesn't make you a Pop-Tart expert either, John Beavers.
You guys, you're really deeply in love, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he would have said no, but we'll never know. Anyway, how do you know he wasn't talking to me when he said fat fuck? Let's look at this. Do you see this?
Oh, I've been watching your shirt stick to your handshakes all day.
First of all, because he starts off by saying the filling of a Pop-Tart doesn't count as a serving.
Now, Mikey, for 20 years, Mikey sang Margaritaville stepped on a Pop-Tart. It's Pop-Top. I blew out my flip-flop, stepped on a Pop-Top. Why would you step on a Pop-Tart? What would a Pop-Tart be doing on a fucking beach, you fat fuck?
Maybe there's a family and they brought snacks and there was some Pop-Tarts left out.
And how would you cut your heel? How would you cut your heel and have to limp on back home?
It's toasted.
So that would cut you?
I don't know. It's the only thing that makes sense. Maybe he's
I know misheard lyrics, but in the context, it makes sense if it's a pop top. It makes no sense if it's a Pop-Tart.
Goodbye, Ann, and you have a good day. Ann says, Ann from California, hello, says good day.
She went to go watch Tony do his thing.
She leaves us to watch Tony just like you leave the Reverend to watch Blind Mike.
Now, there's no eating on the show. There's no eating on the show.
Are you regular, baby?
No, there's no eating on the show.
No
eating on the show. No. We have a very light week as far as guests are concerned, and obviously we got stiffed by the Ayatollah today. I was kind of hoping that you would come
Putin tomorrow.
So we can ask him where he was moving those nuclear facilities to overnight. But he didn't show up.
You know, it's really weird that all these guys that are trying to do war are just throwing their plans out on the news. It's just weird to me.
It really is no. I mean, it's not like you could sneak up on somebody on the fucking planet today, right? Can you sneak up on?
True, yeah.
Well, with stealth, I guess with stealth technology, in a way you can sneak up. That's the whole point of having it, like stealth bomber and stealth fighters.
Well, I mean, Iran.
There was a whole thing with Trump the other day on one of these, probably the one I was banned from.
Idiot.
He was saying, "I'm not a big fan of stealth. I mean, stealth, it's a wing shape or whatever. I'm not a big fan of stealth."
And they're ugly.
And then he comes back and says, "Well, we have great stealth technology." Like, what the fuck? You're not a big fan of it, but you're bragging.
See, the man. Okay, I'm going to say this a lot. The man's a fucking idiot.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's a fucking idiot, and he says things just because he says things because people have to listen to his fucking stupid ass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that the media should, when he says something, put a 7-day delay on it, unless it's really important. And if he's just talking shit, put a delay on that motherfucker.
I think a forever delay. Like, we should learn to ignore him.
There's some things that we may need to know. That's why I'm saying a 7-day delay, unless it's something pertinent. And the media knows when he's. They've been around this man since the 70s and 80s and 90s. They know what he's like. They know when he's bullshitting. It's like my first wife. My first wife, when her mouth was moving 9 out of 10 times, she was lying.
Right. I question whether they really, because they still talk about, like, we trust in him. You saw the clip where he fucking swung at the golf ball, totally missed it.
Yeah.
And just went and picked it up, and he was going to go throw it on the fucking fairway, 485 yards away, 3 feet from a hole, and just claim that it just landed there. And nobody would call him out on it and say, we saw you pick up the fucking ball and put it in your pocket. You missed the fucking ball completely. So I don't know if they, I don't know if they fucking believe him, or they've just abandoned their senses completely for him, or whatever it is. It's like total cult mentality stuff where I believe in Trump. Whatever happens, I believe in Trump. Like, come on.
I hate to disappoint John.
What do you say? Oh, you need a mother story. Go ahead.
I know. I don't have a mother story.
Well, there's no eating on the show. Don't eat your mother.
Oh, don't eat your mother?
Don't eat your mother.
Yeah, don't eat your mother.
All right. I'm sorry.
I was giving you time to tell a good mother story. Now I have an English muffin in my mouth and say, no eating on the show.
I don't have a mother story,
How about Steven's mother story? We all got one of those.
Now, my sister's mom, I remember my sister's mom used to, I don't know if I should tell that story.
You can't tell that story because
I don't think.
Out of respect for your dead sister.
Yeah,
let's not talk about her dead mother.
Yeah, I can't.
Your mother's dead. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I can't talk about other.
Hey, yo, your mother's dead. Hey,
no mother jokes. No mother jokes on my show.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
Man, it's hot. Isn't it hot?
No, you're just
no.
Your wife put some. She roofied you with the Viagra, and you're getting hot and heavy. That's what's happening.
Boy, look, Tony Robbins is writing to me. What does he want to say?
Tony
Robbins, is this the influencer guy? Not influencer, motivator guy, Tony Robbins?
Yeah. He told me tune out or lean in.
Oh, okay. Well, no, man, you probably don't know about this. I had to ask Dylan.
Dylan,
this
Bob Dylan? You know Bob Dylan?
Oh no, not that Dylan. The Dylan. Brody.
You know he's on the show. What do you have to ask him?
It's about script registration.
About what?
Script registration. When you have a script, registering it so that other people can't do stuff with it, and I'd never heard of it until see. There's this weird thing there. After Barry Katz suggested that I write this script, one of the people in the room immediately says, "This guy, he has like a lot of scripts out there. He sends pilots out all the time, and he goes, I'll help you." He says, "I'll read it for you." Blah blah blah, and so I would send him like I sent him the rough first draft, and he didn't get it. He didn't read it. And I sent him like I updated it, made corrections in third draft. He didn't read it. And finally sent him like what is the final draft. It's correctly formatted. It's the final draft. If I were to quote pitch it, I would pitch this right now. So I sent it to him, and after all this time, he goes, "Well, have you registered with the script registration? Blah blah blah." And he sent me the site, and I went, "No. First of all, they've known for like a month or two when I started working on a script that I was going to do that I was doing this. Nobody said anything like write the script, register it, and then send it to me." He goes, "Write the script and send it to me," and he doesn't read it. And then he's saying I should register the script. So now I want to know. I had the site. I want to find out who owns the site, because for all as I know, Barry Katz could own the site. And I registered the script. It cost me I don't know how much money. I paid the money, and I don't know whose site this is, because there are companies out there that belong to other people. Somebody owns it, right? Somebody owns it. Why not Barry Katz? Why not this other guy, Sean Decker? Why not them owning it? I don't know anything. This is the first time I've ever heard of it.
Well, I can tell you right now, WGA Registry, or which is the Writers Guild of America Registry, is client owned, is by Perfect Privacy LLC is the name of the corporation that owns it. There's an email here for them, at Network Solutions. It's based in Jacksonville, Florida. I don't think it's a Barry Katz thing. There's a phone number here.
Well, I was just saying. I don't know who owns it. I'm just saying, for all I know. But
yeah. So Writers Guild of America owns it, and there's a phone number here: 570-708-8622. You can call them and ask them, who the fuck are you, and what are you doing with my money? It's a penny to register your script for 3 years. I don't think you can go wrong with that penny. If you're giving Barry Katz a penny, he probably turned it into $1 million, knowing Barry Katz somehow.
Because I know it's money involved. I don't, like I said, I just wanted to research. I wanted to find out if it was like who owned it and what happened, what kind of
Writers Guild of America owns it. The same people who were on strike with the Screen Actors Guild last year, they own it. And Writers Guild.org. I don't think it's a for-profit, but whatever. A penny for 3 years. I never heard of it before either. I thought basically copywriting your script in the Library of Congress should give you the same protection, no?
That's what I thought.
You would think. Anyway, sounds like you got a cat.
But of course, I've been performing Blessings and Blasphemy on stage for a while now. Nobody else.
Not the script. You've been.
Not the script. Just the name. I own the Blessings and Blasphemy, but now the script. So at any rate.
Yeah. Anyway, it sounds like you're a cats lady. You're like you got lots of cats all over you. You got cats in your neighborhood. You got stray cats.
Stray cat strut.
You need one more cats to complete the power of 3. The cats triumvirate, right?
According to my contacts, I do have another cats. I'm thinking to myself, who is that cats? I don't know that other cats, but they're in my contacts. So I have another cats in my contact. I just haven't. It's probably somebody that I met. Like I've had so many people come in my quote comedy career saying, I want to work with you, and I had their numbers, and then after all, it's like, who are you? Who the fuck are you again?
Yeah,
I'm the guy that when you were drunk, you said you wanted to work with me.
Right. All right. Well, now my advice counts for nothing. It's meaningless, and you listen. If you want to fail, follow my advice. But the power of 3 being what it is, I would just call that guy up and just say, I just need to talk to you because to complete the chain of the power of 3 cats, so I get one of these things happening, whether it's Barry Katz, Alan Katz, or Stray Cats, whatever the guy.
Or Felix the Cats.
Felix the Cats. All right, Steven, you got any cats?
No.
What a fucking loser. At that point, this is improv, and you're supposed to say yes and. Yes, and then give me something.
He does no but. He does no but.
No but.
He doesn't understand how.
I'm kind of a butt connoisseur, but I don't.
I think a butthole is
Yeah.
what you are. You're when there's a hole that whatever. You know.
So
I thought I was bad at improv.
So Stephen, when I first started doing comedy on a regular basis, actually,
You mean humor? You were never doing comedy. You were doing humor. Remember?
Yes, I'm not I do comedy. I'm just not a comedian. Yeah. So when I started about 6 months into it, 6 or 7 months into it, once I started performing in Maryland, I kept encountering all of these people who wanted to work with me, and every last one of them were drunk. How many drunk people do you have who say, I really like what you're doing. I want you to tour with me. I want you to tour with me. I would, how
I've
many
had a
of
few
those?
of those. I've had a few of those. Yeah.
Are you still friends with any of them?
Did you guys ever have like these guys in your life who would just get drunk and call you at 2 a.m. drunk phone calls?
I called them my brother. That was my brother.
I had a brother, but I also had many friends. I love you, man. I just wanted to let you know I love. It's 2 a.m., man. I'm fucking sleeping. I got work in the morning. I just want to tell you I love you, man. I'm fucking drunk.
Now, my brother's favorite line. I'm not gonna say favorite line, but this is how he used to always. Every conversation, when he called me drunk, when he drunk dialed me, he'd go, no matter what, we're family, and we can't help that.
I think he can. I'm just trying to see.
I can't help that. We're family.
I think we have a guest tomorrow. I'm just trying to confirm.
Go ahead and say, we're family. It's like we don't have we didn't pick each other. We're family. It's like, thanks for the pep talk, He goes, I love you, right? 'Cause we're family, and we don't have a choice.
Yeah, but you have a choice. I proved that at 13 when I left home and left my family behind. You have a choice. You always have that choice. Get the fuck out of there. No, we don't have a guest tomorrow. We have a guest Wednesday, and Wednesday night I got a guest. Are you familiar with Karen Jonas?
Oh yeah, it's one of the Jonas brothers.
No. Karen Jonas is a singer-songwriter. I think she's from the UK, but she does like American country stuff. But she's a gorgeous woman who she's always got a glass of whiskey. I'm like, oh, this is what I need. I need a gorgeous woman with a glass of whiskey to sing like an angel, and just.
I thought you just needed a gorgeous woman that would feed you eggs and garlic and spinach.
The glass of whiskey is very important because then the eggs and spinach and garlic go down a lot easier once you're fucking hammered.
So somebody needs to serve you a whiskey with the eggs and spinach and garlic.
But not in the morning. But anyway, Wednesday it's going to be a political day. The Huey Long story, and Thomas Patterson is an author about a book about Huey Long. You know Huey Long, right?
Yeah. He was that porn star. I thought it was Hughie Long. It's not Hughie Long.
I think you're thinking of Harry Reams.
Oh. Who's Hughie Long?
I don't know.
If I remember correctly, Huey Long was like a Louisiana governor or politician,
right?
Or something.
Assassinated, right? Was he assassinated? Yeah.
He didn't drink himself to death or bribe himself to death. You sure he wasn't?
No, he was shot in the. He was 42 years old, shot in the Louisiana state capitol, and basically he was going to run for president. I don't know. We're not going to fucking elect anybody from Louisiana. Come on.
Not yet. I don't think so.
No, I mean, that John Kennedy dude. He's a Rhodes Scholar, but he plays a fucking idiot. He's a very good actor at playing a fucking Rooster Cogburn idiot. Foghorn Leghorn. I mean, Rooster Cogburn is John. Too great.
You would think that as much money they spent on their education, that they would not want to come up as a rube. You know, it's I don't know. I understand. I mean, I understand. It's really weird that you represent a party that doesn't like education, but they keep picking these people from Ivy League schools, and they go to these Ivy League schools, and then they just talk like they're rubes, and so you support them because they talk like they're idiots.
Yeah. That's what I mean, where you don't know what they really believe and what is it all an act or what, because they gotta know. Yeah, rich people are doing better, but you're not doing right for the people that you represent or yourself in some of these cases. You're doing well for Donald Trump, but how does that fucking benefit you? I don't get it. How they just fall in, but so I'm not sure whether. Like a guy like Kennedy who fucking puts on John Kennedy from Louisiana, the senator from Louisiana. He puts on this act every day like he's a fucking like it's less smart than your fucking sneaker. And then he graduated with honors and a Rhodes Scholar and all this stuff. It's just like, so where's the truth here? What does he really believe?
His act redefines Rubicon. You know, because he's conning people into thinking he's a rube. You know,
I'm not sure that's the definition of Rubicon. I'll look it up later.
I'm pretty sure that's what Rubicon is when you convince
So Marco
people.
Rubicon is what you're talking about. Marco Rubicon.
Yeah, he's a Rubicon. They're all Rubicons. They have Ivy League educations, but they want people to think they're stupid and one of the common folk. So they come off as rude.
Now the question on the table here, and this is from the chat room. I'm not really reading this from the chat room. I'm acting as if this were in the chat room. Stephen, why the fuck do you come here every day? You just come here and fucking fall asleep while GD talks or I talk? Oh,
I'm not falling asleep. I'm listening.
No, talk. You're supposed to bring the funny. Every day you make me laugh. That's talking about you, not me. You're
the only one with sitcom in their name.
And
they dog.
Nobody's laughing. Nobody. When was the chat room? When was the last time you had a laugh today? Was it on this program or was it before you actually tuned in?
Yeah,
and it's all Steven's fault. We're blaming you. You make me laugh.
Matt has dog. It says dog. His job is to chase things and piss on things and lick his own balls. That's his job.
Really? I did not know that was because I don't think I get a stiff neck.
That's what dogs do. Unless
I know, but not that I'm just not coordinated, and my tongue is
coordinated enough.
Look at how short my tongue is. I don't ever
longer than mine.
I'm the black guy. I bring the cultural diversity. I don't bring humor.
The DEI hire.
Right, I'm the DEI hire.
DEI, Dick.
No, dark.
Large man.
Dick.
Idiot.
Dark.
Dick. I can't get past Dick.
I bet you can't.
Thank you very much. See, I gave you a fucking easy softball fucking straight man line, and it took 15 minutes to fucking come up with a fucking joke.
I hit that instantly.
Instantly? Let's play back the tape.
I don't think we have time.
We don't have the resources for that.
All right, you're right. We don't. All right. By the way, Stephen, while you're diddling, Googling porn stars. While you're Googling porn, it's easy to contact them, by the way. And again, try that new subject line. But while you're Googling them, look up if there's a new way to integrate phone calls into StreamYard. This is a question that came up from the peanut guy. I got a call from a guy who does a show Sundays, and he wants to include phone calls with it. And I do this every 6 months or so. Any better way of incorporating phone calls other than using Loopback or Amoeba Rogue or one of these softwares where you have to kind of patch different software systems into each other? Is there a simpler way to just take phone calls for people who use StreamYard? Look that up. And then, because this is a major opportunity for somebody who really wants to make money, who has some kind of fucking technical savvy to come up with a solution, because we're not the only ones. There are probably 8 billion podcasts out there who probably want to do this, or everybody on StreamYard wants to do this. There has to be a
Matt, I just Googled that. There's 8 billion podcasts, but only 3 billion want to do that.
Okay.
Only 3 billion of the 8
And
billion.
how many results for people who claim to know? Oh, and they'll tell you, go get Loopback. Like, we don't want to use it. We know about Loopback. We know about Amoeba Rogue. We don't want to use those. Oh, we'll try Google Voice and open another tab. I've tried that one too. I can't get that one to work. Use a mixer. We use a mixer. Dude, you don't understand the problem here. And now you're offering a solution without understanding a problem. I can take phone calls, but then they will only be able to talk to me. Even if I use a mixer, plug my phone into the mixer, I can talk to them. They're not going to hear Steven and GD talking back to them. We want to do it so that everybody can be included on the phone call as if we were all in the same room. And a mixer won't solve that stuff. No. Tascam mixer. No. Not. We understand. Easy to take calls. Yours will do it, and also include guests who are on remotely. I call bullshit on that. Won't happen. Not with Tascam Mix, not with any of it. I can take phone calls right now. They won't be, if GD goes to talk to them, they'll be like, I don't hear anything. Yeah. He meant to use a mixer with your whiskey. Yeah, now that will work. Oh. That will definitely work. But no. Go ahead, prove it. Prove it. Come on this show. Do it right now. Come on this show right now. Put in your little mixcast and prove it.
He's probably at work.
Steven, send him a link. Get him on here right now to prove it before we go off.
Probably at work. He's probably not at home in his office.
Yeah, no. I have mixers. I have interfaces. I've plugged the phone into it. It does not work. It does not. It never works where the people in the room. Bring it, bitch. That's what I said. That's what I said to you. Bring it, bitch. Come on.
All right, I'm sending a link. Hold on.
There's no eating on the show.
Oh, man.
No chewing into the microphone.
I had such a promising career. I had such a promising career as a sidekick on a digital broadcast show.
Well, you know the guy who brought this shit up, right? This guy who wants to take the phone calls.
Yeah, and the Reverend was just going to say.
I don't think the Reverend brought it up. I think it was you.
I thought the Reverend brought it up to me, and I just brought it up to you.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, because it was right after the show. I mean, because the Reverend is happy to just use the, maybe have a dedicated show link, and then just post that, and people who want to, talk to the Reverend can just.
I used to use Blog Talk Radio, but they went out of business. But somebody has to come up with a.
I remember Blog Talk Radio. I tried using that back in the day a little bit.
He's gonna fuck me up. That's better than fucking me down. I don't like to be fucked down.
Why? I think that it's so degrading when you fuck down to people. You should fuck up to people.
Did I mention there's no eating on the program?
Yeah, it's.
What? It was. You're mumbling and then you're not finishing your mumble.
It's not him. It's his connection because he went all digital. I mean, he went all interspatial.
He's trying to use a mixer to use Tascam Mixcast or something.
No, I think his microphone and his camera both decided to.
No, if I have more than one window open, my computer starts slowing way down, and I was sending John the link.
Really? I do this whole show with like 3 windows open on my computer.
No, my computer's just ass.
All right, we're waiting. We'll wait a couple minutes. We got John Beaverman is going to John Beaver, the Beaverman, is going to prove to me that I'm wrong about this Tascam Mixdown, and then the entire world will be happy. The entire Stream World community will be happy that there is a solution that works. All thanks to John Beavers. Getting this done for the world. So we do appreciate him solving the world's biggest problem.
If he solves this, then this will be like the end scene of Men in Black when Jay opens his locker and he'll go, "Oh hail beavers! Oh hail beavers!"
I think you have. I'm sorry. I think you have your movies mixed up. I'm pretty sure that was Blazing Saddles.
Oh.
I think
where the white women at?
Yeah, I think you're right. It was the end of Blazing Saddles when Jay opens his locker and all these little aliens start going, "All hail beavers! All hail
right.
beavers! Keep her off the phone contraption."
So, John Beaver's magical Tascam Mixcast solution is brought to you by Tantally. Tantally, Steven's favorite fake headless whore.
Scantily, he dressed them scantily.
I don't like the scantily.
The Mandela effect. We all remember you saying it, but it was never
I don't like scantily. I don't like the scantily tantally rhyme scheme. I don't like it.
He chews their pantily.
No scantily. Don't say scantily. Whoa, that's nasty.
Really wants to get down. Stevie likes to get it on with the girl that's made of silicone. He goes to Tantally, clip on link. He goes to Tantally, soft and pink. She comes without a head, but at least she'll never shit the bed. You need a fake rubber squeeze. Be like Stephen Ortiz.
I don't know if you noticed there, but when she says shit the bed, Steven is coming out of her ass. That's, well, other than look at
Holy
that.
shit, where'd GD go?
He's playing guitar
go
back
pick up his
there.
doll.
$5 parodies nutsy jokes about your nuts. No, I forgot what I was going to say. Do you remember what I was going to say, Steven?
Something about vaginas?
Oh, the head part. Now, apart from coming up with a worldwide solution for taking phone calls for StreamYard people, we need to come up with a solution for heads. And I still don't get the whole point of marketing these things without heads. Is that like
probably cost
of putting a head on there?
Well, because here's the thing: if you look at like the premium dolls that have like everything,
I don't.
They have sometimes they have real nice hair. The mouths usually are multifunction. You can take the teeth and tongue out. Like there's a lot of moving parts, and there's a lot of ingenuity that goes into it. So
you can take the teeth and tongue out. So you want to act like you're fucking your grandmother or something? Like no teeth.
I'm just saying, like there's a lot of different like. ways
take the
you can set her
dentures
up.
out, Grandma. How about some head now? I mean, what's?
I'm just saying you can.
You're just saying, but you're not explaining why.
I mean, it just depends on what the guy's trying to do to the doll, I guess. Maybe he just doesn't want to feel teeth.
So, but okay. So if you're gonna, isn't it worth doing right? If you're gonna do it, wouldn't you rather pay a few dollars more to actually have a fucking head on the thing? I mean, I don't know, but
I have to look at the costs.
Yeah, look at the cost. Do a comparison right now. Go to Tantally. I could tell you the prices are around almost $600 for those. But
I'm thinking that if you put a head on it, then you can't imagine it's just anybody. I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You should have like replaceable heads for. You can order a I don't know, name your favorite movie star or rock star, or whatever. A Taylor Swift head. I don't know, whatever you're into.
And do they come in different colors, or do you have to have them?
What is the cost on one of these busty headless bitches?
It was
$600 for around $600, like $599.
I'm willing to bet that the cost on one of the ones with the head is way high.
Look, the Beaver Man is there in black, like. He's a black Beaver Man. Now he's in white. Good morning, Beaver Man. Prove to me.
Good morning.
Show the world this new. I'm hearing echo. Show the world this fabulous new solution we have, and you're going to make the big money on it. Oh God! He fucking pulled a blind Mike and ran away.
Okay, well then Steven needs to hop off and call me, and I'll answer the call, and you guys should be able to hear it.
I can call.
Oh, one of you hop off and call me. Whatever.
I don't even have to hop off. I have a phone right here.
Right?
You have my number?
I'm going to check right now. I think I do. Let me see here.
Somebody just fucking do it. You guys are so fucking.
Ooh,
You see how I got upset there for a moment?
Hi, Steven.
I don't have your phone number.
Steven.
Wow.
I can't hear Steven. Steven? Are you
Steven?
there?
Yeah, speaking to the microphone.
I see him talking up there, but I don't hear him at all. GD, do you hear him?
Hold on.
I heard a slight.
Any better?
Hold on. That is not right.
Is your microphone on? Mute your
Try it
mic.
again.
Mute this mic. Should it?
Okay, I hear GB.
Okay.
This dead air is brought to you by Tantally.
I hear Matt.
Tantally.
Matt, you can't hear Steven?
No.
GD, can you hear Steven?
I hear him very faintly, like he's.
I'm hearing an echo through your microphone.
Yeah, it's almost like I think I hear his echo through your.
It's very faint. Yeah.
They got a little quieter.
Yeah.
They got quieter?
I think Steven's heard
Is that
Steven
better?
say.
Now, can you route my voice so that Steven hears me through his phone? Steven, do you hear me through your phone?
Yeah, he hears you.
He hears you.
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Through the phone?
In sync.
I'm
I see him shaking his head.
Can't hear me.
Yeah, no, all I'm hearing is echo through John's microphone there, but I'm not hearing you directly back. Like the phone isn't coming through the StreamYard audio. I'm hearing it through John's mic. But that's if you can hear me, that's half the problem right there.
Well, I don't know if you're hearing the echo because of StreamYard or what, but this is direct. So I have a cell phone direct link into my mixer. It was made for the cell phone only. So it's made for cell phone and for iPads. That's what I have him plugged into.
Right.
And so he's talking through my phone into the mixer. So you're not hearing my phone. I'm not holding my phone up like this or anything like that. You're hearing it through the mixer.
I get it, but we're not hearing it like it's true patched in audio. We're hearing it as it's like way in the background and muffled, not necessarily clear audio. But live track, and there's a couple of those Rode Livecaster or whatever it is. They have those where you plug the phone directly in.
Yeah.
But when it comes to StreamYard, like the guest can't hear it. Only the host, the actual administrator, can hear it clear, all that stuff clearly. It doesn't patch it in for the guest. And that's
You mean you're hearing a delay?
Yeah,
is what you're hearing.
delayed and extremely low in the background.
Yeah, because I have it turned up.
I'm sure you could hear it pristinely. That was my issue with Loopback. It works pretty much the same way. And then I have to relay the messages back and forth to the guest calling in.
Well, I don't know if it's. So I don't know if it's. Oh, sorry. I don't know if it's different for the person who set up the stream because we've used it lots of times and never had any problems.
Wow.
So we use it very often, especially I think I even used it with Steven because he couldn't get on his computer. Yeah, didn't we? We had to call you that one time, didn't we? Where we patched you in and everybody could hear it in real time. Yeah.
And everybody was remote, or was everybody on your end in the same room?
No, everybody was remote except for me and my wife, who were in the same room, and we used the same. I split my camera for her in StreamYard, so she's on mine.
Right. TaxCam Mixcast is basically like Rode Livecaster.
Yeah, the reason why I didn't get the Rode was because the Mixcast has some additional features. So the Mixcast has it where, it's just simple stuff like where you plug it into the back, you can actually secure that by like a locking screw, so you don't accidentally pull out your power. And then it has it has software and stuff that comes with it. So I think Rode does also.
You guys know everybody sounded crystal clear.
So you could hear me through the phone or through the speakers. Yeah.
No, I muted everything on my end, speakers and microphone. I was only using the phone. I could hear everybody crystal clear.
That's weird. We couldn't hear you perfectly. Maybe I'll look into that because I do have the Rodecaster around here, and I have a Tascam too somewhere. I don't know. I don't know where the fuck I hid it, but I have it at Tascam here. We've tried that before, and we had the same issue where the guest couldn't hear the person on the phone talking. I hear me now echoing, but all right.
That could be through me, maybe.
I don't know why it works. We've established that it works for John. It just doesn't work for me.
I'm telling you, anytime we have more than 4 people in the room with StreamYard, somebody gets echo. And it doesn't matter. You drop them off, echo's gone. It doesn't matter what settings you hit. I'm telling you, StreamYard, if I hadn't already paid for StreamYard for a year, I think I would go back to the one that we started with, which was Zencaster. But Zencaster, we started when they were like beta testing, and it was free.
More expensive, right? Though now
I think they did go up to being more expensive.
Yeah,
but they couldn't do two cameras in the same room either, where you split it. Because
StreamYard is very disappointing on addressing these issues and all this stuff. They're quick to raise prices every 3 months or so.
Doubled.
Doubled, right?
They doubled in 1 year.
Yeah. But when it comes to solving issues that you send in, they're really slow on it. And then they solve issues that nobody fucking wants solved.
Like the notification on X that I shared the stream. Like, where did that come from? We didn't ask for that. And then the messages from Kick started popping up. Like, what's happening?
What do you mean? I didn't see a Twitch that we shared the stream. I didn't see that.
On
X.
It popped up in the chat on X that Steven the Sitcom where T shared the stream.
I didn't get that. I didn't see that. That's weird. Yeah. I should see that.
It was like the second message up there.
Oh.
Well, I gotta pop off, but I just wanted to say that I was right. So
all right, you were half right. Half right is we'll accept that.
Half right is better than half wrong.
All right, what does he get, Johnny? What is his consolation prize for being on?
Tell me what I've won.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny, he went the brand new slap tail.
But it's got it on the wrong side of the cup. It's only for lefties.
They're doing all that now. It's so that you can see it.
Okay, that's true.
It's subliminal messaging to you always, constantly.
All right, so thanks for making me spend another $700 on a fucking taxi and miscast.
You said you had one. If you had one, just hook it up. The nice thing,
yeah, but now I gotta find it.
The other thing that's cool about it, if I remember correctly, the difference between that and the Rode was that it has way more pages that you can build your own sound bites if you want. I think that's what it was.
All right, we'll work on that. Thank you
Matt,
for.
I think I remember now.
Take care.
All right, Blind Mike on this program this morning. That was Blind Mike.
Shit!
Wait, that wasn't Blind Mike. Was that Blind Mike?
Oh no!
We have Matt, 3 blind mics.
3 blind. No, Matt. I remember now. The task cam you gave that to Willie to use. I remember now.
Did I? I might have.
No,
I couldn't have thought it was right here.
Now you know the ultimate. Tony Miller also takes phone calls and everybody can hear it in the audience.
That's hardwired through his.
He has a full studio set up.
Yeah, his tech guy hardwired the landline through that computer and all that stuff. So that's what.
Okay.
They got like the full radio station set up there.
I don't even have a landline in this house. I haven't for probably 15 years.
I don't know if when we moved here, we never even used one. I'm pretty
What's
sure
a
there is a
landline?
landline in this house somewhere, but there are no phone jacks. There are no phone jacks anywhere in this house, but I'm sure if we took off some of these wall plates, there'd be phone jacks in one of them.
You know what? I am sure that I probably looked directly at this Tascam Mixcast a dozen times in the last 5 minutes and just can't see it because it was right there on the shelf. It's not there, but it's got to be within my line of vision, and I just have a blind spot for it. It's like
probably with my fuzz wah pedal, which I can't find.
And I have a couple of these things that they're just not. I know they're here somewhere. Whatever, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't. We're watching me have a break. This is Jack Parr, and I'm signing off for the last on next Monday. Johnny Carson will be taking over the program for me. I will be in an institution. Anyway, Steven.
Yeah.
What? Steven. What?
Don't forget to turn on your radio.
Are you high right now?
Finish inside me.
listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me.